on all social media platforms. ESP Network, it's game day.
Dakota Community Bank and Trust, your trusted partner for commercial and business loans. We not only provide lending you need to grow your business, but we also reinvest in our communities. We believe in strengthening our businesses and creating opportunities for success. Choose Dakota Community Bank and Trust for your commercial and business loans, and together let's keep our communities thriving.
Serving the community, looking out for you. At Dakota Community Bank and Trust, that's what we do.
When facing disaster, it's not just the things we lose, but the memories. But there's hope. ServPro, with decades of experience in Minot and Bismarck, is always ready. Our certified professionals don't just restore homes, they rebuild lives. Because to us, you're not just a client, you're family.
Since 2003, the architects and engineers at Ackerman Estvold have been enhancing everyday life. From response times to commute times, we've helped create critical infrastructure, enhancing highway safety, flood protection, and public education. And we're no stranger to enhancing fun, family outings, and even game time. Ackerman Estvold, working to enhance your everyday life.
Great news! If you're looking for a new vehicle, Ryan Family Dealerships has the best selection we've had in years. You'll find fantastic offers from Nissan, Honda, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
Hold up! Ryan sells Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram?
Yes, we do, and we'd love to sell one to you. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations in Minot and Williston. Get your next vehicle from a name you know and trust. Ryan Family Dealerships.
That sinking feeling you get when this happens? That's oil change-anxiety. The anxiety of being without a car with a billion things to do. The fear of being overcharged. The stress of not knowing where to go or who to trust. But you never get those feelings at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, where you can watch us work right from your car, and we finish up in about 15 minutes.
We changed your oil and did our 18-point safety check.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Service you can see, experts you can trust.
Welcome in to the Valvoline Instant Oil Change pre-game show. I'm Brock Widener, joining you from the Bijou Activity Center for some WDA football. It is the last week of the regular season, so you got teams that are trying to better their spots. They're better their seeding. They're your teams that are trying to get in to the playoffs. But in this sense, these two teams know exactly where they are going to be next week, as they are already set in. Minot North, they are the 1 seed. Does not matter what they are going to, what happens tonight. They will be the 1 seed representing the West region. For Dickinson, there is no possible way for them to get in. Even if they win tonight, they would not win a tiebreaker against the teams that they would need to kind of battle that spot out for. So for Dickinson, it's a game that, hey, why not go out swinging? Last game of the year, what would that be? A big statement win and a big momentum shift for next season under a first-year head coach in Dawson McLaughlin. End your season on a high note and try to take down the team that no one else has defeated this year in the Minot North Sentinels. For Minot North, though, this is a team that, again, they are at the top of their game, and they've been at the top of their game for quite some time since they went in to be a team just 2 years ago. So quite some time. Well, maybe that's a little bit of a stretch, but 2 years. Last year was their first year, and it was a big year, 8-3. This year, 8-0, and they have state on their mind already in year 2 of the Minot North program. Before we continue to dive in more and about these teams on the pregame show, let's talk about the WDA standings as well as the East region. And again, a final time to make your mark, and let's talk about 2A East region first. Kindred with a win tonight will secure the 1 seed, and they've got to take on Central Cass, who's the number 2 seed. So battle for the 1 seed there against Kindred and Central Cass. two rivals at single A last year. They move up to 2A this year, and they are battling for a region title. Then the battle for the 3 and 4 seed. Grand Forks Central, Grand Forks Red River, the two Grand Forks teams in the Cushman Clash tonight. And that one is going to be a big one because winner will be that 3 seed, but if you lose, potentially could find your way out. I believe, though, Grand Forks Central is kind of locked in. I don't think they're officially locked in. Kindred and Central Cass are, but I could not find a way that Grand Forks Central doesn't make it, but they did not have them as secured. For Grand Forks Red River, though, that's the team to watch tonight. With a win against their in-town rivals and a loss for Central Cass, Red River will be the 2 seed. However, if Red River loses tonight and Fargo South beats Wahpeton, Red River could be out of the playoffs and they would miss it next week. So Red River's a team you really want to keep an eye on the East. Again, Kindred could be the 1 or the 2. Central Cass can move around a little bit as well. 1, 2, or 3, I believe. Grand Forks Central, 2, 3, 4, kind of in that range. But again, that team to watch, Grand Forks Red River, high as a 2 seed, but they could fall out at the 5 seed if Fargo South beats Wahpeton tonight, and then Red River falls to Central. Now in the West region, a little bit less of that movement kind of going on. Still there's going to be plenty, but you don't have to worry about another team coming in to steal a bid. The top 4 teams will be in Minot North, Devils Lake, St. Mary's, Watford City, Dickinson, and Jamestown. Dickinson and Jamestown will be out. Those top 4 will be in, but it's going to come down to seeding tonight. Matchups there in 2A West region tonight. Again, Minot North taking on Dickinson, and then Devils Lake versus Watford City. That's number 2 versus number 4. So that could be a big kind of imprint there. And then St. Mary's is got Jamestown. So really kind of keep an eye on that Devils Lake Watford City game. If Devils Lake wins, they'll be the 2 seed, and then everything will pretty much stay in order, St. Mary's and then Watford City. But if Watford City wins, that's where you'd get a little bit of that moving and shaking, and I believe you'd have a 3-way tie there with the Firebirds, Saints, and Wolves. So a lot to keep an eye on that. On the state polls, Minot North, the number 1 team, Kindred, number 2, and then Devils Lake, Central Cass, and Grand Forks Central round out your top 5. And that, again, teams that are already kind of locked into the dance, but we'll see what seed some of those teams will be. Well, let's take a break on the Valvoline Instant Oil Change pregame show, and when we come back, it is time to continue to dive into this matchup. Minot North in town to take on Dickinson in the Queen City.
Wondering whether you need wealth management? Wealth management is a multifaceted offering that should provide opportunities for growth and security. At BNC National Bank, we pride ourselves on putting your priorities first and providing practical, objective financial advice. Our team can help you assess your goals and take stock of your assets to determine whether wealth management is right for you. Speak to a member of our team today to learn more. Member FDIC.
Being in business for over 25 years, we've learned a lot about why local matters. Unlike those guys, we take pride in our work and back our tires with our Plus Plan guarantee to get the most out of your tire's lifespan.
Are the tires the same size on all the sides?
We strive to provide great value to our guests and lowest prices guaranteed.
That's not good.
Stop at a trusted tire and auto and get a set of tires from people you know and trust, and will even match those guys.
That sinking feeling you get when this happens? That's oil change anxiety. The anxiety of being without a car with a billion things to do. The fear of being overcharged. The stress of not knowing where to go or who to trust. But you never get those feelings at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, where you can watch us work right from your car, and we finish up in about 15 minutes.
We changed your oil and did our 18-point safety check.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Service you can see, experts you can trust.
This presentation on the BSP Network is proudly brought to you by all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
Welcome back to the Valvoline Instant Oil Change pre-game show. Valvoline Instant Oil Change, your locally owned oil change headquarters, 25 years. Lundine's taking care of people. Local actually matters. Not to mention, this oil change is a stay-in-your-car drive-through oil change. It's typically performed in 15 minutes or less. You can find them in the Magic City of Minot and the capital city of Bismarck. It's Valvoline Instant Oil Change. I'm Brock Widener joining you on the Valvoline Instant Oil Change pre-game show. Minot North taking on Dickinson. For Dickinson, again, it is their last game of the season. Minot North headed on over to the playoffs next week and en route to their first state title. Seeing if they can try to be a state title winner in just their second year as a program. Could be kind of the similar boat of what we saw with West Fargo. Horace, that was a school that, just got built, I think, was it a year before Minot North? 2 years at the level of AA, and then they already were state champs last year when they took it home against Grand Forks Red River. Minot North seeing if they can follow that same trajectory and seeing if they could be the champs this season. And Minot North 8-0 under Jacob Holman, second-year head coach, 16-3 in his 2 years as the coach. And taking a look at this team, again, a very young squad, just 2 years as a program, but 2 straight playoff trips last year, 8-3 this year, starting it off 8-0. They will be the number 1 team in the West region. They've outscored teams 288 points to 62 this year. Last year was 339 to 212, so their defense is playing on another level this season. Last year, their defense was solid. This year, it is even better than a year before, and offensive numbers pretty similar as well. School opened again in 2022. They played a JV game in 2023, but last year was that first full season, and they would end up losing to the eventual state champs, West Fargo Horace, in the semifinal last year. They lost 2 games to West Fargo, one in the regular season, and then one in the postseason there against the Horace Skyhawks. Strength of this team for Minot North, well, it's the run game, as all 5 of their starters tonight on the offensive line are seniors. So keep an eye on that offensive line. It is really the engine that gets this Minot North team rolling in the right direction. That is really what has been the key, not only last year, but this year as well, because their run game is top-notch, and we'll get to some of those running numbers. The Sentinels on the ground, that's going to be the story tonight, so let's talk about some of those Sentinels to keep an eye on. Cooper Chick, he's the one that leads the way, 644 rushing yards, 9 touchdowns. He became that lead back. They were kind of a back by committee, but after just playing really solid, he got more and more carries, and that really has helped them kind of be that lead back. He's a smart, shifty runner. He hits the hole fast, makes anyone miss. He might be a little undersized, but plays with a lot of heart, does Cooper Chick. And then that's that scouting report there from Dallas Hansen, who's covered these Minot North Sentinels a lot this season. Big shout-out to Dallas for all the info that I got from him this week, as really was able to learn a lot about this program from him. And taking a look now as a couple of those other backs, Evan Berg, he's that fullback, 248 rushing yards this year. He's also an all-stater on defense, leads the team in tackles with 46 on the year. He's that fullback that just loves contact, 3rd and short. He's a threat there, so if it's 3rd and short or 4th and short, look for Evan Berg to potentially be the guy they call on. He's a great blocker as well and good linebacker. Kean Hannon, he's one of those younger backs in that committee. A sophomore, 223 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns. He lines up in the slot, gets some reverse sweeps, stuff like that. He'll line up as a wide receiver, but he'll get a lot of those touches on the ground. Cole Richardson, 218 rushing yards and a touchdown. Harrison Schaefer, 205 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns. Again, this is a team that has a lot of different ball carriers, and here's just the pure numbers here for you. They run the rock. That's their mentality. 5 to 6 main running backs, incredible running back depth. They have 32 rushing touchdowns in 8 games, so they average about 4 rushing touchdowns per game. 17 different ball carriers this year. 17 different Sentinels have ran the ball this year. 6 of them have over 200 yards rushing. And if Christian Dedman picks up 6 yards tonight, well, they'll have 7 guys that have eclipsed 200 rushing yards this year. 10 different Sentinel rushers have also scored a touchdown on the ground this year, and 8 of them have multiple touchdowns. They scored, I believe, 7 touchdowns last week, 6 from different rushers for the Sentinels. So that's just incredible depth, incredible star power, and those are going to be some of your players to watch. Christian Dedman, 194 yards. Last year was an all-state running back, got injured, and was kind of slowly getting involved back in the running. But this is a team that really had a lot of great ball carries. Jacob Holman knew he wanted to get some reps to Dedman, but didn't want to overdo it. So he asked Christian Dedman, hey, would you want to play some more linebacker? Dedman agreed, and he said, hey, whatever's best for the team, whatever's going to help us get the wins. And so you'll see Dedman a lot at that linebacker position, but look for him to get some carries tonight and eclipse 200 yards rushing on the regular season. Andre is good. He is that stud offensive lineman. He's the leader of that very veteran offensive line core. It's what Coach Holman says, smartest football player he's been around. He's a leader of the O-line. He's the glue to the team. Keep an eye on him tonight. Will Bentley, 9 receptions, 127 yards. He will be kind of that feature wide receiver, also an all-state defensive end. Gavin Toby leads the team with 3 interceptions on the back end, and Braxton Thompson leads the team in TFLs and in sacks. So those are a couple of your players to watch for the Sentinels. Tonight, though, they'll be without Ethan Howie, and they'll be out with Josiah Jacquinet as well. So 2 X factors that will not be playing tonight. And Ethan Howie just kind of one of those precautions. Don't want to rush anything. Got hurt last week, but did not want to rush anything and get injured, a little bit more injured and banged up before the playoffs. For Dickinson, 2-6 this year. Last year they were 4-5, but something that I was talking with Dawson McLaughlin they were looking at their numbers during practice this week, and the way they played teams this year compared to last year, and their overall numbers of their offense has been producing at a higher level. They're playing in more closer games than last year, but the wins just didn't prove it, and that's just one of those things that's football. And he was saying just the mentality of this team, the attitude of this team has been good through this, and that is showed because this is a team that's been in the mix every single week. And I even talked to Coach Holman for Minot North, and we talked that Dickinson could very well have been the 2 seed this year because of all the close games. They've lost 3 games in a 10-point fashion, within 10 points of each other. So it's just one of those things that you can control what you can control. They played in a lot of close games, but this is a team that definitely has the skill and the star power to compete here against Minot North tonight. Paxton Leeson, he is that lead wide receiver. Him and Dylan Glauser have been a very fun 1-2 punch to keep an eye on. Paxton Leeson, 40 catches, 543 yards, 4 touchdowns. Dylan Glauser, 18 catches, 386 yards, 5 touchdowns. Then you even add in a couple more. Caleb Hollins, 10 catches, 198 yards, 2 TDs. And someone else that's emerging as another option, senior Ethan Luna, 5 catches, 162 yards, 1 touchdown. And I believe it's back-to-back weeks where he's kind of had like a 40 or 50-yard catch, so keep an eye on Luna as well. He's one of those guys that might average 1 catch per game, but that catch is usually going for a big yard gain, so keep an eye on him. Wyatt Turner, 489 yards. This is the first week that their lead rusher has not been their quarterback, Nate Stevenson, throughout the entire season. Again, Wyatt Turner's really turned up his production this year. And then on the defense, taking a look at Cole Crossley, 18 tackles. He's been really solid. Isaac Lowry's been really good as well, and keep an eye on him in short yardage situations. He kind of turns into that fullback as well as we get ready for tonight's opening ceremonies for tonight's contest here on the Valvoline Instant Oil Change pregame show. Again, a final game here of the regular season before we go postseason football. Tomorrow night we will have 2 postseason football games in single A, and we'll talk a little bit of that a little bit later on. But right now it's time for tonight's national anthem here in the Bijou Activity Center.
Stand at attention as we play our nation's national anthem.
That was tonight's national anthem here on the PSP Network. It is time for the final week of the football regular season here in AA. Minot North taking on Dickinson. It's all coming your way when we return on the PSP Network.
At Badlands Pet Crematory, we understand that pets are family. Unlike other crematories in the area, we are the only dedicated pet crematory that offers private individual cremation. One pet at a time, 100% guaranteed. From start to finish, we personally handle your pet with the utmost care, ensuring that you receive only your pet in return. Choose Badlands Pet Crematory, because saying goodbye should come with certainty and trust.
Rooted in the heart of our vibrant communities stands Bravera Bank, offering complete financial services for banking, wealth management, and insurance. From home loans and checking accounts,
let me tell you about the cashback rewards with this account,
to wealth management, we'll help you forge your path ahead.
Let's create a plan to reach your financial goals.
Sounds great. With specialty insurance coverage, our advisors ensure your operation can carry on.
Looks like it's going to be a great harvest.
It's time for some football here tonight at the Bijou Activity Center. I'm Brock Widener, joining you on the PSP Network. We've got a fun one in store to close out the season between Minot North and the Dickinson Mavericks. Again, talked about it earlier in the pregame show about these two teams, but again, I talked about this Dickinson team. They're going to miss out in the playoffs this year, but this is a team that, again, just played a lot of close matchups. They were right in it with Fargo South. They had a chance. I believe it was like a 2-minute or something drill there, but a scoop and score off of a fumble led to a Fargo South to clinch the win, 34-21. Then you looked in at that Central Cass game, very similar, kind of in that 2-minute drive to try to go down and tie the game, but it was an interception, and Central Cass would score a touchdown late to finish it 36-21. You get in the West region, and the scores were even closer. Watford City, that game back and forth. Late stages, Dickinson trying to go down the field to win the game. Well, Watford City gets a stop. They score on their own, 20-17. Watford City wins. Against Jamestown on the road, Dickinson found a way, though, in the fourth quarter to win that one, 35-24. Bismarck St. Mary's, they lost in the final seconds as a walk-off field goal for Asher Coughlin for the Saints, 24-21. And Devils Lake defeated Dickinson as a comeback win for the Firebirds, 28-24. But you add up those scores in West Region, and it's just one of those very interesting things because Dickinson is 1-3 in West Region games, yet their point differential is -1. They have been pretty much dead even because every game they've played in the West Region competition has been decided by 10 or less points, so keep an eye on that. Well, we are about ready to go for this one tonight. As by the indication on your screen, Minot North will get the ball to start first. Returners on, it's for Minot North. Gavin Tovey, the junior, and Kean Hannon, the sophomore. So got a couple of young returners there for Minot North. And, hey, might as well, let's talk about that starting Dickinson defense as we get ready for this one. At the defensive line tonight, Jacob Britton, Cole Crossley, and Easton Blower. Devin Height, Wyatt Turner, and making his second start on the season, Aiden Ho at the linebackers as well, the inside linebacker, Nate Stevenson. Cornerbacks, Paxton Leeson and Caleb Pullins, and the safeties, Jesse Hammond and Dylan Glauser. We'll meet tonight's starting offense for the Sentinels once they return the kick as Braun looking to boot it off. Jackson Braun will boot it over to Toby and Hannon, just waiting for it patiently. Little squib kick, not going to get to either one of them, just going to get cut off on the squib, and the Sentinels will continue to drive down the field, and they will set up shop 43-yard line. So let's take a look at that at the Ryan Family Dealership instant replay. A nice little return there. Could not find a number there of who was able to get loose there for Minot North as Jackson Braun has plenty of boot. I think that was just kind of a design squib kick, not to give it to Hannon or Toby, and it ends up working in the favor of the visitors. Well, the starting offensive line, it's all seniors tonight. Tyler Steele, Andre is good, Gabe Mendez, Gavin McCathin, as well as Laval Harlan. They hand it off to Chick. Chick quickly ate up on the play. Jesse Hammond and Devin Height in on the tackle. Devin Height, the leading tackler on this team, 87 tackles. We'll see if he can eclipse 100 tonight. If a big performance, and with him, it very well could be in play. It's a kid that's had plenty of double-digit tackling nights. 87 tackles. That's in 8 games. He's already averaging over 10 tackles per match. Giving it back to Chick. Chick runs fully right into the Dickinson defense, and he's brought down by Trevor Tolliver. Tolliver on the tackle brings down Cooper Chick. Again, Chick, one of those maybe undersized, smaller running backs, but he's just one of the top running backs in the region for a reason. Now they're going to split him out into the slot. They'll have Evan Berg at the pocket of Blickery. Blickery drops back. He's going to look to scramble. Now he'll throw one down the field, just out of reach for Gunnar Jost, the intended target. And Dickinson defense comes up with a big stop. Rounding out, though, that starting offense, we talked about the offensive line. Braden Blickery, the quarterback. The running backs, Cooper Chick and Evan Berg. Tight end Will Bentley. And then Cameron Jess, as well as Gunnar Jost, the wide receivers. Jost, again, that intended target. Caleb Poland's back to try to return the punt, and look out, this kid, if you give him enough room, he'll make you pay, so you gotta be very careful of how you're going to play this one. Punted away by Harrison Schaefer. He lays it short and allows a whole bunch of Minot North players to get there, as Cameron Jess will end up downing that one right at the 22. 22-yard line is where the Mavericks will set up shop, and there's Nate Stevenson ready to go. Nate Stevenson running onto the field, and what the opposing coach said to me over there, Jacob Holman, he said, that Nate Stevenson kid, he's a pretty good quarterback, and I would say I'd probably have to agree that he's right now number 2 in the West region in passing yards this year. Just behind Palmer out of Devil's Lake. They're going to hand it off to Cheddar, and he will go nowhere. Starting offense for Dickinson, the offensive line, Jacob Britton, Colton Brown, Cannon Dressler, a sophomore as the center. Then it's Cale Thompson and Cole Crossy on the right side of the line. Nate Stevenson, the junior quarterback, junior running back, Wyatt Turner, make his first start of the season, the sophomore. Tucker Broughton at tight end. He's earned more and more reps as the season's gone on. Dylan Glazer, Paxton Leeson, and Caleb Poland's the dynamic 3 wide receivers. They'll put in Ethan Luna in motion as he checks in for Cheddar. Dropping back to pass. Stevenson quickly gets it out to Glazer, who hauls it in. He gets it back to the original line of scrimmage, so gave him a gain about 2.5 on the play. Gain of 2 for number 2, Dylan Glazer, the second on the team in receptions, 19 catches this year. And by the way of how that first catch right away, getting him on the offense, he just needed 14 yards coming to the day to eclipse 400 yards in back-to-back seasons last year, 538 last year for a player that was a first-team All-State or 2-time WDA, not only wide receiver but defensive back. They look to Poland's. They want him in motion on a 3rd and 8. Now he'll split back. Stevenson, lots of pressure, and it's batted down. Had no time. Tyler Kippen with the batted pass. The senior makes a big play, and the defense is showing out here early in the Queen City. 3 different Sentinels break through the line. It was almost like they were untouched the way they got through the line there. Gave no time for Stevenson. Low snap. Bobbling gets Braun. He's trying to get it away, but cannot. He is smothered by Kean Hannon. Special teams wins games, and I think we talk about it every single broadcast, as it just has been that type of season. And a snap that gets away from Braun. allows the Sentinels to have perfect field position and started off in the Serve Pro red zone. Christian Dedman lined up before we even really get set. Illegal substitution on Minot North. So the quarterback, Cameron Jez was over there, and I think I don't know if he came in late or something like that for Christian Dedman, but I heard 5 and 12 were the numbers that were called there. Either way, Christian Dedman, he was their leading running back last year, suffered an injury at the late stages last season, came back this year, but is seen more as a linebacker on defense, but gets some carries. Just needs 6 yards to clips 200 on the year, and that's going to be the 6 to do it. He'll be pushed back, but a big gain. And there is the 7th different Sentinel to eclipse 200 yards rushing this season. That shows the depth, and that shows the star power this team has. On the sideline for Dickinson, Brian Leggett and Braun are working on their snap and punt work over here on the sideline. They'll fake it out. Blickery on the play action. He's got a receiver, and he is in for the touchdown. To Tyler Kippen. He had a big-time batted pass on defense, and a few plays later, Kippen scores a receiving touchdown, his first on the season. Not bad at all there for Tyler Kippen. A nice little action play for the Sentinels. Now they'll look back to kick. Joseph Olson. He's got a leg. A little bit of pre-snap movement. The kick was good. It will be on the defense. Now it's half distance. Does Coach Holman say go for 2 at this point? As they're all looking over to the sideline. And it looks like they'll stick with 1, at least that's how the formation is set. Go half the distance to the goal line, but they'll just, again, try the 1-point try. And another penalty on Dickinson, so half the half, and now you're getting the substitutes to run on. 2 penalties for Dickinson has now allowed Minot North to say, this is where we want to roll the dice now. Didn't know about it the first penalty, but the second one, we're close enough. We've got the running back. We got the offensive line. Let's just jam it home for 2. It's been an interesting battle, and really, if that first possession, Minot North was just stuck against this Dickinson defense, but they have had great field position after the bobbled snap to the punter, and that has allowed them to be right into the Serve Pro red zone, and now they're going for 2 after a score. They'll hand it off to Evan Berg. Wasn't quite in on the first go, but he falls in. Berg, the fullback, craves contact, and he gets it there for 2. Minot North capitalizes on a 2-point try and a touchdown. Kippen scores the the touchdown, and it's Berg with the 2-point try, putting Minot North up 8-0 here in the Queen City.
Breathe in. I can't believe I wrecked my car. There's some things in life we can't control, but what's important is how we respond. At Jerome's Collision Center, they provide the highest quality of service, assuring the job gets done stress-free and making it feel like a breath of fresh air. And to give you peace of mind, they handle the insurance.
Are you even a therapist?
Don't worry about it. Jerome's, they're the experts. Jerome's.
Braden Blickery finds Tyler Kippen for their first connection for a touchdown this season, and that has put them up 6-0, and then it was a Berg 2-point try after 2 penalties there on Dickinson during the PAT, so they said, hey, why not? Let's go for 2, and that works out to their favor. as they'll go up 8-0. And now here comes Caleb Pollins. He's dynamic. Gets out, trying to get outside the numbers. Then he goes upfield and tackled at the 27. Caleb Pollins, a senior, playing in his final game at DHS. And again, this is a team that is going to lose some of their weapons, losing Glaser and Pollins. They're two of their top 3 receivers on the year. They'll also lose Devin Height to graduation, their top tackler. So there is some losses. But again, a team that has shown a lot of different players and different looks here on the offense. Ethan Luna, a senior that has emerged late in the season. He'll join them here on the offense. Tucker Broughton in motion. Handoff for Stevenson. Runs it up the gut. Turner lowers the shoulder. Picks up a gain of 4. Wyatt Turner started the season as the backup. An injury to Cameron Bowden opened the door for Wyatt Turner to try to step up and get a role. And in the first couple of weeks, just trying to get his feet wet there, and then next thing you know, this point in the season, he has really taken a lot of great reps and some really good games there for him. 140 yards last week against Devils Lake on the road. This, though, not going to go for much. A lot of Sentinels there to stop him. Andre is good with the tackle. Good a player with Ethan Howie not in action tonight. Just keeping him off for some caution for the playoffs. Ended up getting hurt last week. And so Good steps in a little bit more on the defensive role as a starter this week. 3 receivers, top of your screen to the left on a 3rd and 9, 7:07 remaining in the opening quarter. Luna's the one in motion. Stevenson looks his direction, pump fakes to him, goes to the top of the field. The Glaser just tips up, and on the bottom here, waving his hands, Pollins, he wanted the ball to come his way, but it goes away from him there. Goes over to Glaser instead, and it goes incomplete and brings out the punt team. Again, Leggett and Braun, a little misconnection on the first punt of the game last drive. That led in for a Minot North touchdown because it got him to great field position. This snap perfect, and Braun's kick gets off. Lots of rotation on that one. Drops at the 40, a friendly Maverick roll. Continues the roll at the 25, and will stop at the 22-yard line. Get special teams going to maybe be a big part of this matchup. Saw Minot North's offense really stopped well against Dickinson on their first drive, but then they got too good of field position there on that second drive where Dickinson just could not manage it there as they started within the 20-yard line. And saw a nice pass from Blickery to Kippen for the touchdown. Normally, you talk all about that rushing touchdowns. 7 touchdowns last week, 6 from different running backs. In motion now, Kippen and Thompson. They move to the left side of the line to the right. Handoff to Chick. Not going to go anywhere. Devin Height shot out of a cannon for the tackle. Couple of different players, but there you see, quickly getting to the front there is the Maverick linebacker. 2nd and 12, and again, this is a team, 2 teams that are kind of playing with that confidence and swagger tonight. Dickinson knows, hey, it's not going to be our last game. Let's win one here at home, and let's take down the top team for Minot North. They want to have that perfect record going into the playoffs. Not many teams are able to have a perfect record all the way through. And taking a look at AAA, no team has a perfect record in AAA. AA, though, you got 2 of them, Minot North here and Kindred in the East region. I think only 1 perfect team in 11A and 4 in 9-man that have perfect records. And after the incomplete pass, 3rd and 12 at the halfway point here in quarter number 1. Pressure shown. Losing the ball is Blickery. Ball on the ground. Devin Height trying to wrestle it for him. It's Devin Height again. Look at the emotion for Devin Height. What a start to the ball game for the senior linebacker. Losing the ball, and Blickery, though, luckily for him and Minot North, jumping on top of the ball for that. Punt at the 1-yard line. Going right to Pollins, and now Dickinson will have some good field position. So after you saw Minot North have solid field position, they cashed in for a touchdown after a ball that goes on the ground. Now a similar situation, the opposite direction. Now Dickinson seeing if they can take advantage and get back in this ball game early, trying to even up the score, or at least bring it within a point or two. Stevenson hands it off to Turner. Finds a nice little hole there as he will run through the gap for a gain of about 5 or 6. So solid run for the junior running back. There you see kind of that patience there. He's got that little bit of a shifty kind of wrecking ball type of running back. Then you got Cheddar who'll check in, number 7 at points. He's kind of that speed back for the Mavericks. Quick little swing play to Leeson as he drops it. A quick little play goes incomplete. But luckily for Dickinson, it was counted as a forward pass. Sometimes that can be a situation. There on the bottom of your screen, though, Bismarck high. Touchdown over Century, 7-0, and Kindred, 7-0 over Central Cass. Those are battles for some region titles on the line. They're around the state here on the final week of the season for 2A and 3A. It's going to be a quarterback keeper for Stevenson. Bounces off of the offensive line. He's near the first down marker. It looks like they're going to mark him a yard short, but 4th and 1. I think McLaughlin really to reel in the dice. And running on to the field, it's Isaac Lowry. Lowry is that fullback. He can run it, he can block, be that lead blocker. You see him a lot in these 3rd and 1, 4th and 1 scenarios. So look at number 45 in the orange and black, again at that fullback spot. It's more of a defensive lineman, but he'll take snaps at fullback position. He's had 2 touches for 2 touchdowns this year. They'll give it to him. Lowry near the first down marker. Will they give it to him? Both teams pointing in opposite directions. And they will say he is stopped. Minot North with a great crew of fans that made the trip from the Magic City. They are pumped. As let's take a look at that at the Ryan Family Dealership. Instant replay, and as soon as he got the ball, he was caught in the arms of Braxton Thompson. Great defensive play for Thompson. And Thompson's kind of one of those players that plays kind of that similar role to Isaac Lowry in his own offense, kind of a lead blocker of his own. Back on the ground to Chick. Quick little shifty movement. Helps him break out for a first down and more. He's in the Dickinson territory. At the 35, he's wrestled down by Jesse Hammond. Cooper Chick. Excuse me, that was Dylan Glauser, the one to wrestle him down as Hammond was coming in for support. And there's a quick little no huddle. You'll see that a lot from these top-seeded Sentinels. They want to capitalize off these big plays. Back to Chick. This time won't go anywhere. Wyatt Turner with the tackle. Turner over 30 tackles this year has has a fumble recovery on the season as well. Player that's had a good season on both sides of the ball for the Mavericks. But Cooper Chick, again, one of those highlight players, 644 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns on the ground this year. With that big breakout run, he could be on pace to eclipse at least 700 yards tonight. Christian Dedman in the back. Dedman checks in, tries to bounce the outside. Maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, forcing a 3rd and 10. That's the bread and butter for these Minot North Sentinels. Run, run, run some more. So far, we've really only seen Dedman, Berg, and Chick as the running backs. We'll see more as the game goes on. They'll fake it to Dedman. Looking to throw. It's Blickery. He's going to heave one up. It is intercepted by Caleb Pullins. Takes it away out of the hands of Cameron Jez. Will let the celebration do the talking. A big-time takeaway for the Mavericks. What very well could have been a touchdown for the Sentinels. They get it back. After a 4th and 1, didn't go their way. They make a defensive stand and right back into the hands of Nate Stevenson and the Mavericks offense. They want Glauser to peel in a little bit. Back on the ground to Turner. Full steam ahead. He's pushed back by Harrison Schaefer. Braxton Thompson, the first Sentinel to get there. Dickinson's defense has done a good job thus far against Minot North. They're seeing if they can get that offense with their wheels churning here early so they don't have to try to play catch-up. And that's that thing of you don't want to fall too far behind Minot North because it's a run-first team that likes to kind of chew that clock. Limit possessions. Stevenson. He's going to heave one to Dylan Glauser. There's some contact and a flag comes out. Pass interference. Glauser's speed will give the Mavericks some free yards. Let's take a look at the Ryan Family Dealership instant replay. There you see Glauser just gets that step, forces that contact there, and it'll give you some free yards coming up for the Mavericks. Ryan Family Dealerships, 50 years. Ryan has been a trusted name for car buyers in Western North Dakota. Shop their entire inventory at driveryan.com or visit one of their 5 locations in Minot and Williston. Speaking of Williston, Dickinson volleyball picking up a 4-set victory against the Wilson Coyotes last night. Very entertaining matchup, that is for sure. Hey, go back and watch some of those on the PSP network. There were some highlight plays in that game. Some things I've never seen before, but hey, that's what always makes those matchups fun. They swing it out to Leeson. He gets a big block that allows him to get some positive yards. See if we can get that one on the replay. Here it is. Just buys enough time. I can't see who it is for the Mavericks there on the number-wise, but whatever wide receiver was out there, great work just setting up a nice little screen play to Leeson. I think it was Ethan Luna as he's lined up right next to him now, so we'll say it was Luna there on the nice block instead of what could have been a loss. Ends up being a gain of 2. They fake it to Turner. Stevenson. In and out of the hands of Dylan Glauser. Some great defense from Gavin Toby, the interceptions leader for the Sentinels. 3 INTs this year for number 4. And that's one of these things when you verse Dickinson, you got to watch out with all these receivers. Paxton Leeson, Dylan Glauser, Caleb Bolins, Ethan Luna, Shane Ciani when he checks in. He can be a threat as well. Now let's bring it up 3rd and 8. Leeson in motion. Right to left. Stevenson facing pressure. It's got to get it away. Leeson held all over, but I don't think we're going to get a flag. Dawson McLaughlin not impressed with the officiating crew. Lots of hands in the air on the Dickinson side. Let's see if he had a case there. Stevenson had to get one. There was some contact. Was it early? Was it not? I'll let you be the judge of it. So now it brings it up to 4th and 8. And Dawson McLaughlin says, what do we have to lose? We're going for it. 4th and 8 in their own zone. Stevenson throws a dot. It's caught by Polans. Maybe that's one of the ball don't lie scenarios, maybe. A Dawson McLaughlin saying, hey, we're already know we're not making the playoffs if we win or lose tonight. So, hey, 4th and 8, maybe a point where you would see the punt unit come out for Dickinson. They're trying to take down the top seed, and to do that, you got to take gambles. And they roll the dice, and it comes in the number of their favor there. They go to Poland's, picks up 10 when he needed 8. And they bring it into midfield. That's just a confidence-boosting type play there. Believing in the offense. Stevenson, he's going to evade. There is a flag. He'll pick up a first down, then some, but by indication, this one's coming back. A 15-yard quarterback run for the junior. Holding on the offense, number 67. It's going to go against the sophomore, Cannon Dressler. So instead of 15 yards, they'll mark it back. So bring it back 10. Kind of a 25-yard flip, if you will. That will now set Dickinson back into their own zone at their own 41. Bismarck Legacy up big over Mandan early, 20-0. That's the battle for the 3 seed in AAA. Out of the West region, Stevenson evading, just got to throw up a ball, and he's going to throw that one right into the Minot north sideline. All sorts of pressure coming his way. It was Andres Good that provided the pressure. Sentinels defensive line group, they have been rock solid tonight. Will Bentley, Andres Good, Braxton Thompson on this 3-4 lineup. Tyler Kippens made some big plays as well. They've been providing a lot of pressure and making Stevenson feel a little uneasy back there today. Stevenson, this time his offensive line will give him plenty of time. Stevenson, pump fakes, and he gets nailed. Took a little too much time. Braxton Thompson and Will Bentley tag team for the sack. Great work by Will Bentley. He would not give up. Might have been a little bit held up on the play as well. You see his arm kind of flailing back. He fights, so it fights away from it and gets the sack. And that will be the end of the first quarter. 8-0 Minot North, and they will close out the first quarter with an exclamation play. Will Bentley, Braxton Thompson combined for a sack. They lead by 8 as Dickinson looking to continue their drive when we continue in to quarter number 2.
Breathe in. I can't believe I wrecked my car. There's some things in life we can't control. But what's important is how we respond. At Jerome's Collision Center, they provide the highest quality of service, assuring the job gets done stress-free and making it feel like a breath of fresh air. And to give you peace of mind, they handle the insurance.
Are you even a therapist?
Don't worry about it. Jerome's, they're the experts. Jerome's.
Spas Etc. is excited to introduce the addition of the Master Spas line, including the Michael Phelps Swim Spas. Enjoy the relaxing health benefits and enjoy 0% financing up to 72 months or up to $5,000 off on all spas and swim spas. You'll also find $2,000 off the MSRP on all pools and saunas. Come check out the outstanding lineup of Master Spas at Spas Etc.
Welcome back here to the PSP Network as we get ready for quarter number 2. Dickinson taking on Minot North. And Minot North 8-0 after scoring a touchdown early on in this contest after getting some really good field position. It was Braden Blickery to Tyler Kippen in with the 8-yard touchdown play. Berg got the 2-point conversion after 2 penalties on the PAT for Dickinson. Now they're faced with a 3rd and long after a big sack. Stevenson just got to get that one out of his hands. Throws it incomplete. Intended for Wyatt Turner. Well, they already went for it on 4th down one time this drive, but will not go for it this time. Last time was 4th and 8. They got it. 4th and 26. They're going to steer away from that one. As maybe a little too far to go for comfort there for Dawson McLaughlin's crew. Big reason this game's 8-0. Again, it was that low snap that allowed Minot North to get into excellent field position. This time, snap is good. Kick is good. Getting away out at the 40-yard line. A risky punt catch there, and it's caught by Jez as Cameron Jez will have it at the 40-yard line. Not bad position, though, for this Minot North squad. Again, this team has moved the ball extremely well all season long, and it's been a big thanks out to that run game as we keep on talking about that. 278 yards per game on the ground. This team's averages 36 points per game to just allowing 8 points to their opposition. They'll wave in Hannon. Hannon's got the blocker, setting it a nice block. There is Chick, and there's a big run for Kean Hannon. There you see Hannon using his speed. He is listed as a running back, but more, he just lines up as a wide receiver, but he plays the running back role from the wide receiver spot. Don't see that very often, but when you do, always fun to see there. Kind of that extra running back at a slot role. Blickery hands it off, back to Chick. Chick will try to go right up the middle, picks up a gain of 1. Quickly brought back by Caden Cheddar. Nate Stevenson, who's played a little bit more defense this year, he's on the sideline, so it looks like they're going to give him some rest on the defensive side of things and just keep him focused at the quarterback spot for now. Seen him have a big-time interception against Jamestown, where Dickinson would pick up their first win in WDA. Second win on the year that night in Jamestown. Devin Height with the tackle. Third and 8 coming up. Third and 8 on the way. Blickery hands it off. They're going to go nowhere. Big defensive stand. Tolliver, the one, the lead, the front. Stopping Evan Berg and forcing 4th down. Fourth and 7. Back to punt. Harrison Schaefer, the junior. Poland's back there to return. No, it's a designed fake. No, they do punt it off. Didn't know they were seeing how that was going. Now a punt near the 1. It's down at the 1. Big time play. Cameron Jez downs it at the 1. Schaefer to perfection. Don't know if that was designed to be a punt fake or just to kind of buy a distraction to get that one down, but either way, works out to perfection for Coach Holman and the Sentinels. Wait a second, I think they said it was a touchback. So they're going to say it's a touchback. The folks that made it their way from the Magic City not pleased after a great punt by Schaefer, a great downing by Cameron Jez at the 1-yard line, but Dickinson, sigh of relief, will start it at the 20. They'll put Broughton in motion. Move the right sideline back to the left. Direct snap to Stevenson. He buys his time trying to break out, but he will get tripped by the ankles on a shoelace tackle by Christian Dedman. Grand Forks Central taking a touchdown lead over Grand Forks Red River in the Cushman Classic, 13-6. Again, Grand Forks Red River, the team to watch tonight. Probably AA or AAA that your team to watch tonight. Again, with a win and things go their way, they could be the 2 seed. If they lose tonight and things don't go their way with other games, they could be out of the playoffs. Quick play to Glauser. Glauser catches it in motion. Now he'll little stutter step. Loses the ball. Minot North saying they have it. It's Minot North football. They come out of the pile with it. Glauser had the catch. He was trying to extend the play. But in the attempt to extend the play, the ball gets poked loose from behind. I think that was the jarring play to do it. We'll see that again on your screen, brought to you by Ryan Family Dealership. It looks like the tackle from Harrison Schaefer. The punter that saw his punt not be counted as the 1, but into the touchback. Then he makes a play defensively. Little pop pass goes to Bentley. He goes fight his way for some extra yards as Bentley falls forward, and a flag comes out, and that might be some extracurricular activity because of the flag. We'll see what the call is there. Unsportsmanlike conduct on Dickinson, and that will give them a first down, even though Bentley had a big gain that would have brought him about 3 yards short of the first down marker. The unsportsmanlike conduct will guarantee him a first down and will also guarantee them to step in to the Serve Pro Red Zone. 24/7 emergency service, trained technicians, advanced technology, fire, water, cleanup, and restoration. It's Serve Pro. Gain of 4 on the ground on first down for the Sentinels. West Fargo Horace leading right now. Fargo Davies up 17-0. Again, that will be your top-seeded team in AAA East Region. They'll be looking. It looks like they'll be potentially paired up against Mandan if Mandan can't come back and defeat Legacy. Another run up the gut, power run, and that is all this team's about. Power run, power run, power run. Evan Bergs had some of those big runs. He had a 2-point conversion that made this game 8-0. And he'll run it right down again. Cooper Chick checks out. They'll bring in Christian Dedman. Chick and Dedman have been the premier backs here so far tonight. 3rd and 1. They give it to Dedman, the big man, inside the 5-yard line. Give him a first down. Again, with the day's yardage, he has eclipsed 200 rushing yards. He is the 7th different Sentinel to have over 200 rushing yards this year. Quick huddle, and they're right back at it. Blickery hands it off to Berg. He is in, but there is a flag, so wait a minute. Illegal motion will take away the touchdown that would have been scored by the fullback. So wait a minute, they're gonna have to try it again. And now Nate Stevenson running onto the field. He'll be coming on for Caden Cheddar. Talked about the junior quarterback who's seen more and more time at the linebacker position this year. Got his first start there mid-season against Jamestown. Sat out on the defensive side much of this drive, but when they need him, they're going to try to see if he can come up with a big play. 1st and goal at the 8. Hannon in motion. They give it to Dedman. He's in for 6. Christian Dedman picking up a touchdown here for the senior. His 7th rushing touchdown on the year. He's a big guy, 6'3", 215, and when you get in the Serve Pro Red Zone, always a threat, and he cashes it in for the 2nd score on the night for Minot North. Lots of motion there with Kean Hannon. Just buys it in for Dedman to go right in the middle for the touchdown. Now Olsen awaits at Richardson's hold is good, and the kick is good. 15-0, Minot North, 7:27 remaining after the Christian Dedman touchdown run as Dickinson looks to get the ball back when we return on the PSP Network.
At Ryan Buick GMC, we treat every day like game day.
1.2-liter turbo engine, ultra-wide screen.
1.2-liter turbo engine, ultra-wide screen, on 2. Ready?
We know how to get you in the right vehicle.
Blue Canyons, and hut, hut.
From the test drive to the handoff, we make every step easy. This season, start your drive at Ryan Buick GMC.
Nobody thinks about personal injury until it happens. But when injury strikes, so will your bills and the turmoil and everything you'll miss out on. It's a mess and you need someone to help it all make sense. That someone is Schweigert, Clemene, and McBride. We know the territory and the process, and we work smart and hard to get you results. It's easier to get back to normal knowing there's a team behind you. We're the ones the other side doesn't want you to call. We're on your side. We're Schweigert, Clemene, and McBride.
As we welcome you back in, Aiden Ho for Dickinson was injured on the play. As Aiden was making his second start on the season at the linebacker spot tonight. Also keep an eye on as this game continues on as well. He is the backup quarterback and a starting linebacker tonight. As he limped off on his own will, but now getting that to leg attended to is Aiden. As we boot this one off, left to right, Polans runs to the ball, picks it up at the 15. Watch his speed now as he quickly gets shot out of a cannon. Caleb Polans gets it to the 42, 43-yard line, but now Polans goes down with an injury. Back-to-back plays and back-to-back Mavericks down as training staff rushing over to Polans. We're going to take a injury timeout here on the PSP Network.
For decades, Nodak Insurance Company has been serving our state's residents in good times and challenging times. We come together for the greater good, from simple acts of kindness to company-wide efforts that make a difference in our community. It's who we are, rooted in North Dakota and ready to serve when it matters most. Nodak Insurance Company, agents with answers.
Darren Johnson, Cody Olson, and Scott Wilkins, your agents with answers in Mandan.
Facing disaster, it's not just the things we lose, but the memories. But there's hope. ServPro, with decades of experience in Minot and Bismarck, is always ready. Our certified professionals don't just restore homes, they rebuild lives. Because to us, you're not just a client, you're family.
We want it all. We want our dog to fetch it.
Drop it.
And drop it.
Drop it.
We want to fix it ourselves. And actually fix it. We want to order the market price lobster. And know the market price of the lobster.
How much is... Whatever the market says.
Sadly, we can't have it all. Except at Sport Clips, where we check in with the pros in men's hair and totally check out with pure, uninterrupted relaxation. Sport Clips. It's a game changer.
Caleb Polans having help off the field after a big return for Caleb Polans, but quickly dropped down, and he is really just kind of favoring his body to one side, so not going to speculate what it is, but hopefully nothing too serious there for Polans. A excellent wide receiver on senior day, or on the last game as his senior season. Trying to be that one of those impact players for his squad tonight. As Wyatt Turner picks up a gain of 4. So Minot North with a touchdown on their last drive. Christian Dedman runs it in for 8 yards, a pair of 8-yard touchdowns. Tyler Kippen, an 8-yard touchdown reception in the first quarter. An 8-yard run by Dedman in the second. Making this one 15-0. Handing it off to Turner. Turner just able to put the head down, and what probably should have been a loss or just getting back into the line of scrimmage, he powers his way for a couple of yards. Look at this, just goes right into the chest of a defender and takes the defender with him, runs right through him. Gains a couple of yards and sets up third and manageable, 3rd and 4 right at the Blue Hawk at midfield. Again, Bijou Activity Center, Fisher Field, home of the Dickinson State Blue Hawks. Great facility here at the BAC. Stevenson, plenty of time, throws it out under lots of traffic. It is intercepted. Picked off by Gunnar Jost. Gunnar Jost comes up with an interception. Lots and lots of defenders in the area, and there you see the back end of it. Jost picking it off for Minot North. It's just one of those things. When it rains, sometimes it pours, and for Dickinson, that's what it's starting to feel like here at this point of the game. You see Minot North score a touchdown. You have back-to-back injuries, and then the interception right there for Gunnar Jost. Minot North seeing if they can again stack their lead before we get to halftime. They hand it off to Cooper Chick. Lots of Mavericks swarm to him as soon as he touches the ball, and by the looks of it, coming in on the tackle is Jarrett Meek. Game of the day with around 3 tackles, but Meek making a nice play there coming off the bench. And I talked with Coach McLaughlin about it, just the incredible depth they have at linebacker, the rotation they've had, and with Aiden Hove just going down with an injury, now Meek stepping up in that role, and Meek comes up with a big-time tackle. They're on first down, trying to set the tone. Little screenplay, delayed pass out to Evan Berg. Berg puts on the Jets outside the numbers, and he will have a big gain, setting it up for about 3rd and 3 coming up for the Sentinels. Third and 3 for the Sentinels. What do you do now? Again, a team that likes to keep it on the ground but comes up with a nice little pass play. Little delayed pass, sets it up for a nice gain to the fullback. Berg, that fullback. Chick, the running back, giving it back to Berg. He is smothered, though, by Tolliver and company. He's going to be held a yard short, 4th and 1. We've seen Dickinson already go for it on 4th down. Now will we see Holman and the Sentinels do the same? Jacob Holman elects to keep Braden Blickery and the offense out there. 4th and 1, ball at the 42 of Dickinson. Blickery with the hard count. Flag on the play. Braden Blickery accustomed to doing the hard count, but looks like got some movement, and that is going to probably force them to maybe decide to bring in the punt unit. We'll just have to wait and see. And yeah, so punt team does come out, but Braden Blickery, one of those kids in this state that's so good at the hard count. I think of him, I think of Brody Weigel for Legacy that has kind of perfected the hard count. He used that a lot in that win against Davies early on in the season. Another booming punt. It'll be called on a fair catch by Leeson. Again, Poland's the normal punt returner, but goes out with an injury, and that has allowed, that has put in Leeson to be the returner. on the sideline. It looks like Caleb Hollands has a kind of a cast around him, or on him there, so it looks like something potentially with the shoulder or the arm there for Hollands. With him and Aiden Ho being attended to on the sideline, back-to-back plays leading to injuries for a couple of key players and for this Maverick squad. They'll hand it back to Turner. Turner is kind of caught in motion by Christian Dedman as soon as he got to the 20-yard line. Dedman says that is as far as you're going here. Good for a 5-yard gain, though. Cuts it down in half and brings up 2nd and 5. St. Mary's and Jamestown looks like they're in a little bit of a barn burner right now. The Saints lead 13-12 over the Jays. It's a big game for St. Mary's. They're trying to be the 3 seed. I think there might be an opportunity for them to even get the 2 seed if Devils Lake loses, and I think that could force a potential 3-way tie of some nature, but we just got to keep an eye on that one. Stevenson, pump fakes, trying to get out of pressure, but he gets sacked once again. Will Bentley, Tyler Kippen in on the sack for the Sentinels. It's on your screen here on the Ryan Family Dealership Instant Replay. He tries to get through, but just the doors closed a little too fast on him. West Fargo, Cheyenne, another one on the bottom of your screen there. You got to keep an eye on that one for EDC. Devils Lake right now leads over Watford City 21-12. And Watford City would need to win tonight to try to potentially better their seeding. If not, they'll be the 4 seed in WDA AA region. As timeout to be taken, we'll take one with them. Minot North leads Dickinson 15-0 as 3rd down coming up for the Mavericks when we come back.
For decades, Nodak Insurance Company has been serving our state's residents in good times and challenging times. We come together for the greater good, from simple acts of kindness to company-wide efforts that make a difference in our community. It's who we are, rooted in North Dakota and ready to serve when it matters most. Nodak Insurance Company, agents with answers.
Darren Johnson, Cody Olson, and Scott Wilkins, your agents with answers in Mandan.
Dickinson cheer, trying to get that student section ready to go. Looks like camo night in the student section. That'd probably be my guess. Got a lot of camo in there, celebrating the seniors playing their last football game in the Dickinson Maverick orange and black. Again, Dickinson knew that coming into the night that they will not be making the postseason, but see if they can try to make some noise, taking down the #1 team in the state. Right now, the Sentinels lead 15-0. 3rd down, pass just off the mark and try to be getting it over to Shane Ciani, but it does drop incomplete. There for you Magic City listeners. Minot leads over Wilson 21-0. Those two teams trying to close out their season with their first wins of the year. Minot was just plagued with injuries in that game against Mandan last week. They were winning that game, then the injury bug occurred, and then Noompa Kirky came to play for Mandan down the stretch. And a great interview there for Kirky and Mandan. Go check that out on our socials there at PSP Network, as it is called for a fair catch at the 40-yard line. So Gavin Toby calls for the fair catch. Minot North looking to see if they can add to their lead here in the final 3 minutes. Century Bismarck, I want to keep an eye on that one because that is for the West Region Championship there for 3A. It is all evened up 7-7. And then the AA East Region Championship, Kindred Central Cass 20-12. Kindred. So lots of big games. That one, West Fargo Cheyenne for a playoff spot. Run up the middle. Devin Height says no. Him and Jarrett Meek in on the stop. We'll get a gain of about 1. .230 on the board before we get to the Charbonneau Car Center halftime show. talk about this one. We'll take a little bit more of a deep dive into the scores around the great state and talk again about playoff scenarios as we're getting closer and closer to the end of the night, closer to seeing the playoff picture. Kian Hannon on the jet sweep. He breaks loose. Picking up a gain of 8 near the first down marker. I think he's just going to be called maybe short by that marking, though. I think that should be a first down. And they will mark him a yard short. Oh, no, they did give it to him. Looks like one ref had him a yard short. The other one had him a couple inches past the line to get. And so they do move the chains after a little bit of confusion. Kian Hannon might be one of my favorite players to watch here tonight. I mean, he is fun to watch there in that slot position. They'll hand it off to Cooper Chick. He spins out of contact, but goes right back into the pile. And this is a team that likes to run the ball. They run it a lot, but they're able to have all these different motion, these jet sweeps with Kian Hannon and with Will Bentley just trying to draw defenders away from where they want to run it with Berg and Chick and Dedman. They fake it to Chick. Pump fake by Blickery, but he does eventually go down. Caden Cheddar wraps him up. But in on the sack was Caden Cheddar, and now he comes up limping. There you see the fake. A nice little pump fake buying some extra time, but being wrapped down. We will stay with you right here on the PSP Network this time. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Minot State. The best way to predict your future is to create it with over 100 areas of study at Minot State. At Minot State, you'll earn the degree for the career of your desire with more than 96% of recent Minot State grads employed or continuing their education. MSU grads get jobs, period. Minot State University. Be seen, be heard, be you. There you see the cheer team continuing. During the timeout, again, this could be big as the game continues on with Minot North seeing if they can make a big play. But there you see Caleb Pollins and Aiden Ho, who both came down with injuries here in the second quarter. They're watching from the sideline, seeing if their team can come up with a big defensive stand to close out the first half. Caden Cheddar now joining him over on the bench after he came up limping, as now he's walking over there as well. Just plenty of injuries racking up here for Dickinson as a team that's been relatively healthy the entire year, but the last game of the season, the injuries starting to rack up as this game has continued. Nice throw from Blickery. It is caught for a first down. Gavin Toby moves the chains. Gavin Toby, his sixth catch of the year, goes for a first down. Game of the day with 62 receiving yards. That one going to move it into the Serve Pro red zone. Today's game brought to you in part by Northern Plains Heating and Air. No choice to seal your heating and air game other than Northern Plains Heating and Air. Call Dylan today at 222-2155 to make sure your furnace is ready for the winter months ahead. New installation upgrades and all your furnace needs and AC needs. Again, call Dylan today at 222-2155. I think there must have been a penalty marker. Chop block is what the call was. And that is going to take away the first down and bring it now for fourth and 11. So that will bring in the punt team with 1 minute remaining. Talk about heating and air. Was last week. It was really cold, but this week here at the Bijou Activity Center, just a beautiful night. As Schaefer going to boot that one, a high booming kick. Caught by Leeson right around the 18-yard line, and that's where Dickinson will set up shop for their last drive of the first half. So last drive of the first half here for Dickinson, and for them it's just keeping control of the football. You don't want to allow Minot North to get this football back, if that's via turnover or whatever it be. You want to close it out with either a touchdown or just hit the ball in your possession if you're Dickinson. Stevenson. Lots of pressure. Flag comes out. He's now just going to chuck that one out of play. Goes incomplete, but looks like a marker penalty going to be going up against the Mavericks. Looks like potential holding coming up for the Mavs. Holding on number 64, the senior Cole Crossley called on that penalty. And that will bring Dickinson back into the 7-yard line. Also to note for Minot North, got a couple of timeouts to work with if they wanted to use one. Try to get the ball back. Well, that's also going to be a decision that Coach Holman will have to try to see if he wants to play it or not, depending on maybe this next play here. Stevenson trying to get out of the end zone, spins out of it, avoids a safety, and will pick up a yard on the play. Facing the pressure. There you see the spin away, the quick little juke inside, just getting out of the end zone. Don't know how Stevenson did it, but the Magician's Act will keep those 2 points off that scoreboard. A potential safety could have went away for the Sentinels, and Dickinson just going to let that clock drain. They will have to snap it one more time. Stevenson throwing one in the direction of Glauser. It is caught for a first down. 3 seconds on the board, so Dickinson was kind of in that spot, that point where they were good with just going into half, but they threw that one, caught it. Now do you go with a Hail Mary heave here with 3 seconds? I don't know. Because at that point, you would think if you're going to go down, maybe just go down with a kneel down or something like that to drain the clock. But instead, coming up here with 3 seconds left, potentially Hail Mary opportunity. Minot North going to take a timeout to see what they want from their defense. So I think Minot North is expecting Dickinson to try to go for 6 here on the final play of quarter number 2. Again, this game and our games throughout the entire season can't be done without our great sponsors. Big shout out to BSN. BSN creates exclusive personalized solutions for North Dakota high school and collegiate programs. From custom equipment, uniforms, and coaches apparel to fan wear, branding, and more. They do it all. Contact your local BSN sales pro today. So big thanks out to BSN, Minot State, Northern Plains Heating and Air, Charbonneau Car Center, Stevenson Funeral Home, and all of our other great sponsors that make these broadcasts possible. Three seconds on the board before we go into the Charbonneau Car Center halftime show. Both teams looking like they're going to go for it. They're going to play the final play. Not going to be a kneel down or anything like that. Stevenson. Quick pass out to Leeson. It's the hook and ladder. Caught by Wyatt Turner. Goes to the 40, but he is dropped by Cameron Jez, and that will be the final play of the first half. Minot North leads over Dickinson 15-0 as we head towards the locker rooms. When we come back after a short break, the Charbonneau Car Center halftime show coming your way on the PSP Network.
This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
Dakota Community Bank and Trust, your trusted partner for commercial and business loans. We not only provide lending you need to grow your business, but we also reinvest in our communities. We believe in strengthening our businesses and creating opportunities for success. Choose Dakota Community Bank and Trust for your commercial and business loans, and together let's keep our communities thriving.
Serving the community, looking out for you. At Dakota Community Bank and Trust, that's what we do.
Planning for the future is difficult, but pre-planning your funeral is a thoughtful way to ease the burden on your loved ones. At Stevenson Funeral Home, our compassionate team will help you create a personalized plan that reflects your values. We'll make sure that your wishes are honored and that your family will have peace of mind in a challenging time. Call us today to start your pre-planning journey. You can count on us to be with you every step of the way. Stevenson Funeral Home.
When facing disaster, it's not just the things we lose, but the memories. But there's hope. ServPro, with decades of experience in Minot and Bismarck, is always ready. Our certified professionals don't just restore homes, they rebuild lives. Because to us, you're not just a client, you're family. When facing disaster, it's not just the things we lose, but the memories. But there's hope. ServPro, with decades of experience in Minot and Bismarck, is always ready. Our certified professionals don't just restore homes, they rebuild lives. Because to us, you're not just a client, you're family.
Welcome back into the Charbonneau Car Center halftime show. Charbonneau Car Center, they know drivers in Dickinson, New England, Richardson, Belfield, Williston, North Dakota, and Glendive, Montana. Work hard, play hard, and need a car that can keep up. That's why they choose to offer Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram lineup at their dealership in Dickinson. If you're interested in learning more, stop into their showroom and treat yourself to a test drive. Visit them online at charbonneaumotors.com. I think we got some little bit flag football going on here during the halftime show. Hey, why not? Close out the season with a bang. Everyone having fun here in the Queen City again last week of the regular season here in 2A. As Minot North, they're the number one team in the state at the 2A level. And right now lead over Dickinson 15-0 in a game, though, that has been really defensive driven. And you take a look at this 15-0 scoreboard, and for different reasons, this game could be 29-0, but this game could also be 7-0. It's one of those things where how this game has kind of shook up. There was a special teams play that went Minot's way. They would end up capitalizing with great field position inside the 20. We'll get to that in a second. That led to 8 points on the scoreboard, but Dickinson's bend but don't break defense has kept plenty of points off the scoreboard themselves. So this is a game that's been really defensive heavy, but it has been kind of that smash mouth double-A football that you just know and love. Lots of run plays, but kind of that smash mouth. Dickinson seems they can get that high explosive passing offense going, and we'll see how that goes in the second half. Well, let's kind of catch you up on what happened in the first half for you that's just joining us here at the Charbonneau Car Center halftime show. Both teams got the stop on the first possessions, but then it was time to punt it away for Dickinson, and a low snap forced a kind of a scramble play for Jackson Braun. He picks up the ball, but he could not get the punt away. He's hit at the 20, inside the 20-yard line, and that's where Minot North would capitalize as Braden Blickery finds Tyler Kippen for an 8-yard touchdown pitch and catch. Evan Berg would get the 2-point try after back-to-back penalties for DHS, where they had at the PAT, they had 2 different penalties, so it took a halfway distance to the goal and then another half distance to the goal, and at that point Coach Holman said, no, we're just going to go for 2. We got the power to do that. They hand it off to the fullback, Evan Berg. They get the 2-point try, 8-0, and that's where it would end in the first quarter. Second quarter, again, more just tough defense, but it was Christian Dedman who would capitalize on a touchdown. For Christian Dedman, that was his 7th rushing touchdown of the year. And again, just great to see from a player that was an All-Stater last year, battled through an injury late last season, had limited reps early on this year, but he able to pick up 7 touchdowns this year, getting more and more reps as we get closer to postseason play. And then you move on there, you pick the extra point, it goes 15-0. Minot North had 2 opportunities late, though, to add it in to having a 3-possession lead, but Dickinson's defense, again, bend but don't break mentality, kept the points off the board. Nate Stevenson somehow avoided a safety down the stretch, was able to juke his way and spin his way out of the end zone to keep it 15-0, and that is where it would end in the first half of play. So Minot North right now up by 2 touchdowns, but Dickinson's defense is holding them well, but now it's seeing if Dickinson can get that offense trending in the right direction. For Dickinson, Wyatt Turner's had some solid carries. You had the injury to Caleb Pollins that takes away a threat, and so now it's what can Leeson, what can Glauser, and what can maybe Ethan Luna, Shane Ciani do to try to get open for Nate Stevenson. So that will be the key there. If Dickinson continues to go the route and trying to get the air game going. I think our camera guy's having a little fun covering this flag football game. So we got the game inside the game. Even on the halftime show, you're getting some game coverage here on the Charbonneau Car Center halftime show. So, hey, football with a side of football here on the PSV Network. And speaking of that, we have a lot of great games on the PSV Network. It is Friday night football, a lot of them at the third quarter. We got Bismarck versus Century. Again, that is the battle for the number 1 seed out of the West region in 3A. Then Mandan versus Legacy. That's the battle for 3 and 4. All 4 of those teams at the top of your screen are headed to the playoffs next week. It's just about seeding. Bismarck Century leads over Bismarck 14-7 with 6 minutes left in the contest. And then on the other matchup there, it is all Legacy 27-0 entering the fourth quarter. We also got Minot versus Williston, so we got all of the 3A West Region games on the PSP Network. Minot leads Williston 21-0 nearing halftime. And again, that is, you pick up the win, you end the season with your first win on the year in that battle. And then again, Minot North taking on Dickinson 15-0 at the half. So, hey, all of the 3A West Region games, even a AA game thrown in here on the PSP Network, brought to you by Bones Barbecue Sauce. They bring you Friday night football on the PSP Network. Bones Barbecue Sauce, a true North Dakota original, created and bottled right here in North Dakota. It's premium barbecue sauce, perfect on anything from ribs to burgers to veggies. Find it at your local grocery store today. You can find it at Cashwise Marketplace and Family Fare. And if you haven't tried it already, go to your local grocery store, pick up a bottle, and thank me later because it is absolutely delicious. Our camera guy, big fan of the Bones Barbecue Sauce. So, hey, go and try that again in Marketplace, Family Fare, and Cashwise. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we're going to look at more scores around the state and start getting a little bit closer for half number 2 between Minot North and Dickinson here at the Bijou Activity Center.
We want it all. We want our dog to fetch it.
Drop it.
And drop it.
Drop it.
We want to fix it ourselves. And actually fix it. We want to order the market price lobster. And know the market price of the lobster.
How much is... Whatever the market says.
Sadly, we can't have it all. except at Sport Clips, where we check in with the pros in men's hair and totally check out with pure, uninterrupted relaxation. Sport Clips. It's a game changer.
Every football fan has their Sunday routine. Maybe it's setting your lineup, firing up the grill, or claiming your spot on the couch. But the center of every Sunday is the drive. The morning drive home before kickoff. The drive to your buddy's watch party. Wherever you're headed, we can take you there.
Last couple of minutes before we get ready for half number 2. Minot North leads over Dickinson 15-0 in the final week of the AA season. So let's take a look at scores around AAA and AA. Again, they finish off their week, their regular seasons tonight. Century over Bismarck 14-7. Minot over Wilson 21-0. West Fargo Horace leads Shanley 33-19 at the half. West Fargo leads over West Fargo Cheyenne 14-7. So the Packers seeing if they can steal a late bid at the playoffs there in the East region. Fargo Davies leads over Fargo North 24-7, and Bismarck Legacy leads 27-6 against Mandan, but the Braves on the board in the fourth quarter. AA Wahpeton over Fargo South. Again, Fargo South with a win and a Grand Forks Red River loss would be in, but right now Wahpeton fighting for their first win on the season, 18-13. Bismarck St. Mary's leads over Jamestown 13-12 at half. Devils Lake over Watford City in a big seeding matchup, 28-18. Kindred over Central Cass in the East Region title game, 20-12. And then the Cushman Classic, Grand Forks Central, Grand Forks Red River, they share a home. It's Central, though, that leads 23-14. Grand Forks Red River needs a win to secure a playoff spot, because if they lose and Fargo South wins, they would be booted out of the playoffs. So something to keep note in on that. We start getting ready as we turn our attention and ready for the second half, but we got some playoff football coming your way tomorrow, 11A. There's the playoff bracket. Langdon area, the number 1 seed. Dickinson Trinity sliding in at the number 7 seed. They play DLB right here at the Bijou Activity Center tomorrow. But on the PSP Network, PSP Plus, you got 2 games coming your way on PSP Plus tomorrow. The defending champs, Valvadre Canamus Garrison's got Southern McLean, and we'll also have Killdeer taking on Ray Powers Lake on PSP Plus. So again, if you want to catch that one, you got to subscribe to PSP Plus. Those 2 games should be some really fun matchups. 9-man, there's your grid for that. Lytton HMB, the top team in region number 4. They're the 3 seed overall. You got to keep an eye on them. And then Kidder County, the 7 seed again in that region as well. So a couple of big games on both 9-man and 11A tomorrow. First round of the playoffs, then first round of the playoffs for AA and AAA. The big schools coming up your way next week, so stay tuned for that here on PSP, and we'll probably have a couple of those games on there. So again, next week, keep a lookout on our social media pages, see what games we'll be at here on the PSP Network for 2A and 3A playoffs. Well, Dickinson will get the ball first to start the second half, as they will boot it right to left for the across your screen for the Sentinels. Wyatt Turner running head start, picks up the ball, and he will work his way to the 38-yard line. I'm not sure if I'm wrong on saying this statement, but Jesse Hammond is on the field. This might be his first play on offense all season long, unless he played on offense in one of the road games. But home games, I don't think Jesse Hammond has took an offensive snap. He's a defensive player that is really growing well at the safety position, but now he comes in as a wide receiver with a couple of those injuries. Little slant route for Glauser, but that one goes into the dirt, going incomplete. Again, in that first half, Dickinson saw Caleb Pullins as well as Aiden Ho go out with injuries on back-to-back plays. Caden Cheddar was also kind of banged up, but he's on the sideline in a helmet, so might see him later on in this contest. But after the incomplete pass, 2nd and 10. Again, Dickinson trying to find that connection here. Stevenson running and over the head of Ciani. Dickinson has went to kind of pass only on this offense, on this drive. But just 2 throws that just not connecting with the receivers. Stevenson second in the West region in double-A and passing yards, just behind Palmer out of Devil's Lake. And he had probably his game of the year last week. Did Stevenson 323 passing yards last week against Devil's Lake. 2 touchdowns for the junior quarterback. But he's been held in check over one of the top defenses in the state, the Sentinels, and they're trying to wrestle him down, and they will. Braxton Thompson couldn't get him down, but Tyler Kippen can. Slow to get up there is Stevenson as he took a shot as he heads towards the sidelines. Here it is on the PSP network. Lots of pressure. Stevenson trying to get out of the pocket. Fights off Thompson, but just could not fight off Kippen. Tyler Kippen, some big defensive plays and a touchdown. Do it on both sides of the field. Waving a fair catch on the play, Gavin Toby. And that's where Minot North will start with the ball here on their first possession of the second half. Ball at the 46 of Dickinson territory. So for Dickinson, only 59 seconds on their first drive of the second half. And Minot North seeing if they could try to add to their lead and try to get some insurance here for the late stages. It attempts to try to have a perfect season. A perfect regular season. They give it off to Hannon on the jet sweep. Hannon surges forward outside the numbers. Give him a first down. Getting inside the 30-yard line, Kean Hannon. Mentioned it already. I've been impressed with his performance and his kind of role in this offense. That wide receiver that is known for the jet sweeps. He's just kind of an extra running back, but you put him at that wide receiver role. They now bring Hannon back the opposite side. Now they'll have a jet sweep once more, this time hit from behind by Easton Blower. But another solid run for Kean Hannon. Couple maybe of the unsung heroes of this game, Kean Hannon and Tyler Kippen. 2 players that are really stepping up tonight for the top-ranked Sentinels. Bentley moves the left side to the right side of the line, the tight end. Now they want Hannon in motion for a 3rd straight play. They'll fake it to him this time. A little delayed handoff going up the middle is Chick as the ref throws in a penalty flag behind the Minot North line. Got holding on the Sentinels. That will push them back a couple of yards. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Farstead Oil. Contact Farstead Oil today to find out how their skilled sales team can help you achieve your wholesale fuel, mobile lubricants, and DEF needs. Proudly serving North Dakota, Montana, and western Minnesota since 1938. Committed to outstanding customer service and reliability. Farstead Oil. Beautiful night here in the Queen City. Everyone's in just plain T-shirts here to start this game, but everyone's kind of whipped out the sweatshirts now, starting to cool down. It's a pitch play out to Chick. He'll wrestle forward. It should have been a loss of maybe 2. Gets a gain of 1. Relentless effort there for Chick. Again, Dallas Hansen on the PSP Network, who covers a lot of Minot North football this year. Gave me a great kind of scouting report, and for Chick, he just said, hey, might be an undersized running back, but just the heart of a lion. That's a kid that is just an aggressive running back. He's shifty, he's smart, able to hit the gap, and there you see it there. Now they'll swing play to him. Chick catches the ball, but Easton Blower jars it loose. Ball on the ground, but it is whistled before Caden Cheddar can skedaddle out the other side. So Easton Blauer with a big defensive stand play on the little swing route. Ball goes loose, but it is whistled down. Bringing up 4th and long, 4th and 21. And that's going to bring back the punting unit, who's had some really nice punts here tonight, of Harrison Schaefer. Snap is good, punt just as good. Booming into the lights. Leeson falls down on it. Getting out their normal punt returner, but able to read that one well and keep it in control and allow Nate Stevenson to hit the field. Last drive, Dickinson, 3 plays, 3 straight passing plays. Will that continue to be the priority to try to get back into this game, or do they try to build the run game back up? We'll have to wait and see. Turner, the running back, attached to the left hip of Stevenson. They motion Devin Height, who's getting his first reps on offense here in this game, as he'll be in that blocking tight end role, allowing Turner to get a gain of about 2 on the play. And Devin Height, he's one of those players I'm very interested to see if he plays at the next level or not. Again, leads this team in tackles, nearing 90 tackles on the season. I believe with tonight's performance, he's definitely eclipsed 90 and maybe en route to potentially getting near 100. Came of the day with 87 tackles, but also plays that blocking tight end role from time to time. Quick pass, quick catch for Leeson. Leeson just catches that one and falls down. He didn't want to try to overdo anything there, felt the pressure from behind him. We saw that play earlier where with Glauser, who was trying to fight off a couple defenders, trying to keep the play alive, and then that ball was jarred for a fumble. Leeson just going to say, I'm going to catch this one, move the chains, and we'll play another down. Stevenson hands it off to Turner. Gets hit initially and kind of spins around, picking up an extra couple of yards on the play. Getting kind of that bowling ball kind of running back. He'll pinball off a couple of defenders, a couple of his own blockers if need be, but just always finds a way to have that ball moving forward. Give him a gain of 2, 2nd and 8 as we start reaching the halfway point here in quarter number 3. Devils Lake leads by 4 over Watford City as the Wolves just scored a touchdown to bring it within a possession. Stevenson finding Devin Height for a first down. Height gets popped, but will pick up a first down. Big hit laid by Gunnar Jost, who has an interception on the day for Minot North. But for Devin Height, that's his 2nd catch on the season, and it's a big one. Moves the chains and gets near midfield. Talked about his defense ability and maybe what he could bring to a team at the next level. Makes a nice offensive play as well. Turner right up the middle. He'll make his way up for a gain of 3 or 4 there for Turner. Give him a gain of 4. Turner, with this contest, has now eclipsed over 500 yards rushing after a big week on the ground, 140 rushing yards last week to get him near that 500 mark. And with tonight's performance, he's eclipsed that mark, so a big year there for the junior. Again, started the year as the backup running back and has seized the role as the starter. Picks up another gain of 1 and gets in to passing the Dickinson State midfield line there on the Blue Hawk and getting into Minot North territory. So this drive, they're getting more on that ground game. Instead of pass first, trying to have a little bit more balance of attack. And right now that is working. Not relying too much on the run, not relying too much on the pass. 3rd and 5. Stevenson has some time. Now faces pressure from Dedman. Stevenson just going to tuck it and run. Extends the arm, trying to get to the first down marker. I think he's going to be a yard short. Yes, he is. Not even a yard. Just a couple of inches. Let's see it on the Ryan Family Dealership instant replay. Great effort on the extension, just not quite getting there. Faced the pressure. He knew it was time to leave the pocket. Dedman was right on him. 4th and 1 now. We'll see what they bring up. Sometimes you'll see Isaac Lowry on the field. You won't see him on this play, though. He'll stay on the sideline. Devin Height will be the kind of the fullback. Direct snap onto the quarterback. Stevenson on a QB keeper. He's got the first down, then some. The pile continues to move, and it stops at the 35. They needed about an inch or two. Well, they get that in, then some. Taking the ball all the way to the 35-yard line. That was a gain of about 9. It's the battle in the trenches on that play. Who wants it more? And the Mavericks wanted that first down. Again, for them, they know, hey, we can play loose, we can play free. Nothing's on the line for us tonight. Minot North already knows they'll be the number 1 seed, but they don't want to share that region title with Devils Lake either. Flag on the play before Stevenson can drop back to pass. Paxton Leeson was lined up in the neutral zone, so that is going to be a penalty on the home team. So Leeson kind of checks in over there. Watford, Wahpeton, and Fargo South. Again, big one there. If Fargo South will make it to the playoffs or not, kind of really determining on that game. Bismarck Century and Bismarck High, 14-13 Century, 1 minute remaining. I might have to go watch that one on the PSP Network after tonight's game here, seeing how that one closes out. But Century was kind of that dark horse coming out of there. As Stevenson hit as he throws, it will be incomplete. At the beginning of the season, Legacy and Bismarck High had all the love in the top 5 polls. Century was kind of just in the receiving votes category, and now, next thing you know, Century could be kind of one of your state favorites. A season that they've stayed perfect in West Region games there at the 3A level. 3:36 remaining in this one here in the third quarter. 2nd and 15 coming up after the incomplete pass. Stevenson, plenty of time, throws in the direction of Leeson. He catches it at the 30. Paxton Leeson, he was called on a penalty on this drive. Well, he makes up for it there with a nice reception. Making a 2nd and 15, turning it into about a 3rd and 4. Opening up the playbook to a bunch of different options to Dawson McLaughlin's liking. Luna in motion, he'll cut back. On the V route, Stevenson, design keeper, powering forward, maybe give him a gain of 1. Again, head coach Dawson McLaughlin, first year at the helm here at Dickinson High. But he is a guy that is known for his time here at Dickinson State. He was a star defensive back. And their assistant coach, Tiger Fry, was a head coach at Belfield, or Hart River prior, and he was a 2-time All-American here at Dickinson State. So Tiger Fry seeing if he can drop the right play here. 4th and 4. Gets whistled, and there will be a flag on the play. Call it on Dickinson. So instead of 4th and 4, move them back, 4th and 9. So does that change what Fry and McLaughlin wanted to call out here? They're relaying the message to Stevenson. Play clock is already off and running. 10 seconds on the play clock. They're all lined up. 4th and 8. Could be a big momentum swing in this game at this stage. Stevenson facing pressure, getting out of the pocket, throws one over the head of Leeson and incomplete. I don't think Leeson thought that ball was for him, so he lets that one go, but no one else there to get there in the territory, and that drops down. Stevenson, I think, just kind of threw one towards a pile of players in the black and orange and was hoping someone could come down with it. But it's a Minot North stop. And big up there is kind of that penalty marker that goes in against Dickinson. Takes away what maybe the initial play they liked for that fourth down. Had to switch up the play and could not quite capitalize on it. 2:26 remaining in the third as Minot North gets the ball back. Little cut play there for Chick as he runs his way up for a gain of 7. Hit by Dylan Glazer. Dylan Glazer probably going to be one of those kids that will be playing at the next level. He has an offer from Mount Marty, all the way down in Yankton, South Dakota. I was a University of South Dakota grad and Vermilion, and Yankton only about 30 miles away, so been to Yankton a time or two. Got some good friends that are getting married in Yankton, so I might have to make my way down there next year. So, hey, why not? A little Yankton, little spotlight. Powering forward, Meek with the stop, but not before another Sentinels first down. Run onto the field for a substitution here as Jacob Britton checks in. Checks in for Cale Thompson on the defensive line. That is held well for Dickinson. Knowing that this Minot North team, they put up points and they put them up at just as good as the rest of them. 36 points per game. Dickinson right now has held them to 15 here late in the third quarter. But Christian Dedman, he wants more. He goes rumbling and stumbling for a first down. A big time run, 12+ yards for Dedman. It's great seeing Dedman in that ability as that running back, again an All-Stater last year. That running back by committee for Minot North this season. Dedman, Chick, Berg, the Richardsons. So many options back there. Back to Dedman. Works to the left side, cuts upfield, avoids a tackle from Leeson. Meek will jump on top of him, but not before another first down. Back-to-back 10+ yard runs for Dedman as Caden Cheddar rushes off to the sideline. He's already been banged up and continues just to kind of battle through injuries here today. And discomfort is Cheddar. He's banged up, I think it was in the second quarter when it was just kind of the slew of injuries for Dickinson. Came back here in the third, but looks like it will end out the third quarter on the sideline. Berg trying to find his way on the fullback dive, wrapped up by Blauer. And that will wrap up quarter number 3, a scoreless third quarter. Minot North continues to lead 15-0 over Dickinson in the regular season finale of 2A. Quarter number 4 coming up when we return.
At Schatz Crossroads, we make 8 gallons of homemade ranch dressing every day, so you can smother your dinner salad with it, dip those crispy golden French fries in it, and dunk your breaded chicken strips. You can even cover your... Wait, no. You can't put ranch on steak, or can you? Schatz Crossroads. Don't forget the ranch.
Welcome back into the PSP Network. I'm Brock Widener joining you for Minot North Dickinson. Minot North leads 15-0. And if that holds 12 minutes, they'll have a perfect regular season, a perfect 9-0 record. Dickinson, though, has thrown everything at them in the kitchen sink, trying to be the ones to take down the number 1 team in the state. The defense has been rock solid for Dickinson. It's been that bend but don't break attitude. Minot North has had opportunities to have put this game maybe out of distance, but this defense has come up at big points. Minot North, though, seeing if they can get that insurance touchdown here in the start of the fourth. They have the ball just outside the red zone. Little pitch play out to Kean Hannon as he powers his way for a first down. Another key jet sweep for Hannon. part of that running back by committee. He'll come out. Gunnar Jost checks in. 3rd and short. Marking around 3rd and 2 coming up for Minot North. 3rd and 2. Evan Berg is kind of that 3rd down fullback. Look for the fullback dive. If not, though, Christian Dedman, the running back, they do go the fullback dive, and he dives his way in for a 1st down. 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3. It's Evan Berg territory. Might as well give it to the senior fullback. And it works in for a 1st down into the Serve Pro red zone. Serve Pro red zone, 24/7 emergency service technicians, and advanced technology, fire and water cleanup and restoration. It's Serve Pro. 15-0 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. Fake the handoff one way. They will give it out to Braxton Thompson as he's near the goal line, but he's dropped at the 1. Thompson on the misdirection. Big cheer for the Minot North fans, and again, a nice little section. It's quite the little trip from the Magic City to the Queen City. There you go. That's all Minot North fans in that section. So great to see them make the trip and support their Sentinels. Try to embark on a feat of having a perfect record through the regular season. Back to Berg. He is in. Fullback touchdown. 2nd on the night for Evan Berg. Let's take a look at it. The Ryan Family Dealership. Instant replay. Berg powers it through. Excuse me, that's his 1st touchdown. He had a 2-point conversion. That's what I was thinking. After a scoreless 3rd quarter, Minot North will score in the 4th. With 10:16 remaining in regulation, Evan Berg on the 2-yard fullback dive. And the kick by Olsen is true. 22-0. Minot North extends their lead, gets a little of an insurance cushion as we continue on in the 4th quarter here in the Queen City.
Whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for farm or business succession, Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. With locations in Bismarck, Garrison, and Center, our full-service team of professionals are dedicated to helping you work towards achieving your financial goals. Visit us online, planningteam.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member of FINRA Civic. Investment advisory services offered through New Edge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. New Edge Advisors, LLC, and Planning Team Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial.
Welcome back in here, the PSP Network. Minot North picking up a touchdown from Evan Berg, making it 22-0 with 10:16 remaining in quarter number 4. Wahpeton looking for their first win tonight, trying to keep Fargo South out of the playoffs. Bismarck Century is your region champions in AAA, 14-13 win over Bismarck High. So congratulations out to the Patriots. We'll get the number 1 seed heading in to the 3A playoffs next week. Devils Lake leads over Watford City in the 4th quarter. Again, Devils Lake with a win would be the 2 seed. Watford City would then be the 4 seed if that happens. Mandan trying to come back in that game against Legacy, but it looks like Legacy will be the 3. So West Region 3A is set for the seeds. Century the 1, Bismarck High the 2, Legacy the 3. It's a Bismarck 1, 2, 3, and then the 4 seed Mandan. So might as well, just 4 Bismarck schools, pretty much. Stevenson looking to throw right to Luna for a 1st down. When Ethan Luna catches a pass, it's usually a big one. He's a player that you take a look at his stats coming to the day. 5 catches for 162 yards. That came out to 32 yards per catch. You don't see that very often, that number. That's a game changer there. But there's a nice little 12-yard reception. Goes for a first down for Luna. Stevenson now rolls out to the left. Still rolling. Just going to throw one. Goes incomplete. Steers out of bounds. Flag on a play after the ball was already thrown. It was a late flag. Christian Dedman in the area as Nate Stevenson taps his helmet, so I think it might be on Dedman. So Dedman called on the penalty. CC there for Stevenson, though, that sportsman play of, hey, don't worry about it, man. It's a tap on the helmet. For Dickinson, though, it will move the chains as movement starting to go on the field. Past midfield and into Minot North territory. They'll mark them at the 45, a Sentinel mark here. As Dickinson seeing if they can get on the board for the first time tonight. Still plenty of time. See if they can make a late charge. Stevenson's throw is caught by Shane Ciani. Almost was closer to a 50-50 ball as that defensive back for the Sentinels really made up some ground. Almost picking it off there. I think that was Gavin Toby, who is their interception leader on the season with 3 picks this year. Almost came up with number 4. It looked like it was going to be a no-brainer catch there for Shane Ciani. Last second, Toby almost picks it off. It'll be 2nd and 1 after the 9-yard completion. Stevenson has some time. Sets in the pocket. He's got Leeson. Catches it at the 10. He's pushed out at the 5. That is what you know from this team. When Stevenson can connect with Leeson with his other targets, this passing offense can be scary. I think Devils Lake found that out last week. 320 passing yards for Dickinson. They've been trying to get it going here tonight. And now in the 4th quarter, they're starting to hit their marks. Less than 40 rushing yards, though, for Dickinson. They'll fake a handoff. Stevenson's throw. It's in for a touchdown to Tucker Broughton. That would be his first on the year. But Stevenson knows it's coming back. Holding on the offense. That would have been Tucker Broughton's first catch. It would have been Tucker Broughton's first touchdown. For a sophomore that has continued to make a bigger and bigger role on this team each and every week. Started to get getting playing time kind of mid-season, more as that blocking tight end. And now Broughton and Height check out. They're going to bring in Luna and Ciani. So they bring out more of the blocking tight ends and bring in some wide receiving threats. They got to hustle, though. 3 seconds on the play clock. 2, just getting it off in time. Ooh, they call it a... No, they called it a false start. I thought if they were to call that one a delay of game, I looked over there as he had it. It was like 2 seconds, but no, it's a false start. So kind of trying to rush everything there. For Dickinson, last second ends up into a penalty, and now they're starting to continue to move backwards. 1st and goal at the 20. They have the work cut out for them now. The Serve Pro red zone. Stevenson faces pressure. Thompson trying to wrap him up and does. Braxton Thompson, he's having a solid game on the defense. Stevenson felt the pressure, tried to hustle out of there, but Thompson will grab him just for a gain of 2. Second and 18. Stevenson rolling. throwing near the end zone, caught by Leeson, inside the 5, won't find his way in, but a big-time pitch and catch. There you see the wrestling afterwards, the pushing back and forth, trying to keep Leeson out of the end zone. Leeson entered the day, 543 receiving yards. He's had some big catches. He's probably near 600 yards, I would say, on the season. Need about 57 yards tonight. I'd say he's probably pretty close to that. Now 3rd and short. Driving through is Turner. He stopped at the 1. 4th and 1, 4th and goal. Dickinson seeing if they can put up a touchdown against the top team in the state and try to stay in striking distance here in the 4th quarter. Isaac Lowry, the fullback, is in. He's in on that last play, was the blocking for Turner. But will this be time for Lowry? 2 touches, 2 touchdowns on the season. Will he go 3 for 3? No, he'll leave the blocking back for Turner, who doesn't go in. Minot North with a goal line stand. Minot North with a goal line stand. Stuffs Turner not once but twice on back-to-back plays. Look how close that ball is. It's not even, that's inside the 1. That ball's almost touching the goal line. That's how close Turner got. May got to go and bring out one of your note cards that they did in the NFL that one time to see if it was a first down or not. You got to go out there and see if it is for a touchdown, how close that is. But either way, Minot North, great defensive stand. They're just going to hand that off to Berg. Right play call there for Holman as the pile will not go down. It'll be a gain of 5. I'm a big fan of the fullback dive, one of my favorite plays in football, especially in Madden. I mean, I probably use that play a little bit more than the average person. But it's fun watching it, see Minot North use that fullback dive time and time again, as Evan Berg has had a living off of it this year. Over 200 rushing yards. So clips 250 rushing yards here tonight on the season. Now they go to Cooper Chick. Just a gain of 1, but as they continue to chip away closer and closer to that first down marker. 6:15 remaining in the contest. Minot North looking to go undefeated again. Just the 2nd full season as a football program for the Sentinels. Last year in their first season, they won the West Region. Lost only 3 games. 2 of them were to West Fargo Horace. That second one was in the semifinals to the Skyhawks, who would go on to win the state championship inside the Dakota Bowl. Back to Evan Berg. Not going to get there by that ruling. Stopped right at the line to get, and as we saw earlier, maybe you could put a post-it note in between the goal line and the ball. You could probably do the same here with the first down marker. Well, now they'll move it back a little bit. The initial rule was right on it, but now it looks more like a 1.5 yard situation. No, we're bringing in the chain gang. So here comes the chains, seeing if they had it. The first ruling was very close. The second time they kind of looked, it was about a yard and a half. The first one looked like it was right on. So we'll see where it has it. Oh, short just by a little bit. Half a ball length probably, even if that. Great camera shot by our camera crew there. Those are the camera shots you look forward to. Grand Forks Central, another touchdown in the Cushman Classic, putting Red River on notice, but Red River might get in because of some Wahpeton help. Wahpeton looking for their first win on the year with 1 minute over Fargo South, and that would allow Red River and Central both to make the playoffs. So, 4th and about an O's. Minot North says, hey, we're just going to gamble. Or is it the hard count for Blickery? Let's see. Tries a hard count, backs away. 8 seconds on the play clock. Blickery goes back under center. It's got some movement on defense. Nothing jumps, and they're going to call a timeout. The Blickery hard count does not work this time around. 4th and short coming your way when we return on the PSP Network. 5 minutes remaining in the game.
The foundation of the financial planning approach at Legacy Financial Partners is a personal relationship. Our unique and collaborative approach to financial planning starts with your dreams, not just the numbers. We will work with you regularly to take action to update your plan as your needs evolve, recommending products and services that are right for your situation.
Fourth and an O's. Minot North, do they go for it? Do they punt it? They're deep in their own zone at the 10-yard line. 5 minutes remaining. They were trying to get Blickery to do the hard count. We saw him attempt to do it earlier in the game. He's kind of known for it in 2A. Just like Brody Weigel for Legacy's known for in the 3A level for Legacy. So they'll look to punt it in their own end zone. Schaefer boots it across, ball at the 40, and caught at the 41 by Paxton Leeson. Paxton Leeson there took an extra step after he caught it. He was looking at the ref and then took an extra step, said, hey, can we make the 41 the 40? Ref was not buying it. They'll start it at the 41. But, hey, love the effort. Well, wait a second. They did move it at the 40. Hey, that worked, I think. If that's where they started, yeah. They put him at the 40-yard line. So Leeson very convincing on the call there. It looked like he was for sure at the 41, and they put him at the 40. Stevenson throws an out route, trying to give it to Leeson. Going incomplete. Last drive, it ended within the inch mark of the end zone for Dickinson. It was the passing game with a little bit of that run game mixed in, but some big throws for Stevenson last possession to Shane Ciani and Paxton Leeson, but they could not punch it home with Turner on 2 attempts at the goal line. Stevenson looking for a receiver. He throws that one away as he breaks a tackle. He was fighting his way, trying not to go down, just threw one up, and it does go incomplete. On the track complex that surrounds the football field here at the BG Activity Center. For Dickinson, a solid effort to close out the season. Their defense and offense have showed heart tonight. Knowing their season's going to be over, but trying just to hang in here with a top team in the state. As there's a catch by Ciani, give it a gain of 5. And that will mark it into 4th and 5 for the Mavericks, who have again gone more pass heavy here in the second half, and it's been kind of working. It's one of those things that run game has been limited to under 50 yards tonight, so the pass game had to take the step. 4th and 5 for Dickinson. Stevenson facing pressure. He's moving, still waiting, keeping his eyes downfield. He's got a receiver. It's Glauser to the 10, the 5, pushed out at the 2. Dylan Glauser, what a throw for Stevenson. Over the top of 3 white jerseys, lands in the breadbasket of his top target last year and his second top target this year of Dylan Glauser. They were stopped within the 1-yard line last drive. They have it at the 2. Stevenson fakes the handoff. He is in, but there is a flag. Flag on the play. Very similar to last drive when they got it within the goal line. Got it 1st and goal, and then a couple penalty flags moved it back. By the looks of it, with no celebration, it does not look like it will stand as a touchdown. This is now Dickinson's 2nd. Wait a second. No, it is a touchdown. So holding on the defense, so touchdown does stand for Nate Stevenson. And what I was going to say was Dickinson was going to have 2 touchdowns called back in this game. But no, this one will stand. It's on the defense. And Jackson Braun, the senior, who has been reliable as the kicker. 12 men on the offense. So they'll run one off the field. Parker Logan, who is one of the new additions to this team, runs back off the field here and now sets back up the PAT. A little farther for Braun, who's, again, been a really reliable kicker this year in his senior season. And another penalty on Dickinson. This time now Logan runs on, and running off now will be Cole Crossley. It's kind of musical chairs down there. You bring one in, you bring one out, you bring one in, you bring one out. At this point, Jackson Braun is just even, come on, guys, I think that's enough. That's enough. That's where I want to kick it from. We continue to go a little farther from the PAT. Snap is good, hold is good, kick is good. It is through for the senior. There's a celebration there for Jackson Braun. He knows that might be his last kick in his high school career. And it's got to feel good to seeing that one go through the pipes. Dickinson on the scoreboard. Braun with the PAT. Stevenson with the score, 22-7. 4:21 remaining here on the PSP Network.
The Jersey Mike's catering box is the easiest way to feed your friends. The hard part is picking your sub. That's why we're having a draft. With the first pick, Sarah from Carolina selects number 13, the original Italian.
You know, I trusted my gut, and that's exactly where the sub's going to go. So
hold on, we've got a trade. Jake traded his 2nd pick with me, because I'm starved. Freshly sliced subs to go, wherever you and your friends go. Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
Dickinson on the board. Do they try the onside kick? Trying to spice things up, and kind of how the play calling is going, I wouldn't be surprised. Again, they have nothing to lose for Dickinson. They're trying to make their mark, but instead they'll kick it on to the lone returner all the way back there, having some troubles, but picking it up is Kean. As Kean Hannon will run that one up to the 16. Hannon's had a really good game today. And could maybe be one of your candidates for the Sports Clips Player of the Game. You can catch that in at the Charbonneau Car Center post-game show. So keep an eye on that. We'll have the Sports Clips Player of the Game. We'll have a game recap. Also tell you about all the final scores around the great state here in 2A and 3A. And we'll even talk a little bit about playoff football tomorrow again. We'll have some playoff football in the PSP Plus. Price of $9.99. You can enjoy Valva Drake and Moose Garrison begin their quest for a two-peat against Southern McLean, or see Killdeer, the 2-seed, take on Ray Powers Lake tomorrow. Again, that's on PSP Plus. Gotta love that postseason feeling, and AA and AAA going to kick off postseason play next week. So keep an eye on for the games we'll have on PSP Network on our socials next week. 3:48 on the board. After a 2-yard gain for the Sentinels. Fake it one way, now give it on to Thompson on the reverse. Fake it to Dedman, give it to Thompson. Gain of 3. 3rd and 4. If Dickinson, just playing the hypothetical game here, if Dickinson could get a stop, you'd have the ball probably, well, at least over 2 minutes. And then with the arm of Stevenson, anything can kind of happen. You'd also probably need to keep your timeouts in store or have an onside kick go your way. But just playing the hypothetical game, this one far from over. And a penalty marker could be a big sway of how this game could shake out towards the closing stages, and it's a false start on offense. So head coach Jacob Holman is in his 3rd year, faced with a decision here late in this one. Jacob is the son of Barry Holman. He was the head coach of Minot High for 35 years. Now Jacob has done a great job of building Minot North from the ground up. Again, their 2nd full season as a football program. He's been there for last year and this year, the 2 full years. And 2 West Region titles in that 2-year frame. Handoff to Dedman, bounces to the outside, now goes upfield. He picks up a 1st down. That's a big one to try to ice this game away. Tackle by Jesse Hammond. You saw Coach Holman with a big fist pump on the sideline. He knew that was a big-time run for his senior running back. And now he'll be talking in over to Kean Hannon. .225 here to go. 1st down after the Dedman run. Hannon, they'll fake it to him. Giving the handoff to Chick, who's quickly wrapped up. Again, Cooper Chick, that main back. I believe he had enough to probably eclipse 700 yards on the ground this year, or at least pretty close. He'll definitely do that in the postseason if he hasn't done so already. Came into the day putting up 644 yards through his first 8 games. And that running back by committee, 7 different running backs that have 200 or more rushing yards on the year. Just crazy numbers. The depth, the star power. 2nd and 8. Back into Cooper Chick. That 1st down will do it as long as Dickinson decides not to take timeouts. And it doesn't look like it. Oh, wait, it does. Yes, it does. So it looks like Dickinson going to take the timeouts. Says, hey, we're not out of it just yet. We're going to play it to the end. We're going to see this thing all the way through. So timeout, Dickinson will take one with them. Minot North leads 22-7 here in the final 2 minutes. We'll be back for the rest of this one on the PSP Network.
Dakota Community Bank and Trust, your trusted partner for commercial and business loans. We not only provide lending you need to grow your business, but we also reinvest in our communities. We believe in strengthening our businesses and creating opportunities for success. Choose Dakota Community Bank and Trust for your commercial and business loans, and together let's keep our communities thriving.
Serving the community, looking out for you. At Dakota Community Bank and Trust, that's what we do.
Minot North picking up a 1st down. Dickinson, though, is going to take their timeouts. They know that, hey, this is the last game of the season. We might as well do everything we can to maybe try to get this ball back or try to make some noise late. Kean Hannon in motion. Bobbled snap by Blickery. Then he just kind of throws the ball up. It's caught by Chick. A dangerous play but it works out okay for the Sentinels. I need to see this one on the Ryan Family Dealership Instant Replay. Just throws one up. Great work there by Blickery and Chick there to work that one out. Another timeout. We're going to stay with you, though, right here on the PSP Network and talk about the Aggie Foundation. Aggie Foundation, they bring you the Player of the Week, them and Minot State. So you can vote each week for the PSP Network Player Performance of the Week. Nominees will be posted on social media each Monday with the winner announced on Thursday. The Player Performance of the Week is sponsored in part by the Aggie Foundation. Learn about their charitable work at theaggiefoundation.com. Well, we could have a nominee in this game. We might have had one last night for DHS versus Williston Volleyball, so you'll have to stay tuned next week. Again, nominees are posted on Monday, and then you can vote away to see who will be the Player Performance of the Week. Big thanks for everyone who voted last week. That was our biggest kind of voting week for the Player Performance of the Week. Lots of votes getting tallied up there. I'm glad I wasn't the one that had to individually count all the comments. I think we had 1,000 comments through our social media pages, so glad I wasn't the one that had to sift through that. Dickinson will take their final timeout. Third down coming when we return on the PSP Network.
Wondering whether you need wealth management? Wealth management is a multifaceted offering that should provide opportunities for growth and security. At BNC National Bank, we pride ourselves on putting your priorities first and providing practical, objective financial advice. Our team can help you assess your goals and take stock of your assets to determine whether wealth management is right for you. Speak to a member of our team today to learn more. Member FDIC.
Welcome back in as we are nearing the ending stages. Dickinson taking their third and final timeout. I'm not sure why, but our timeouts are messed up. It's Minot North that has 2 timeouts. They somehow switch there on your screen. Dickinson is out of timeouts. Cooper Chick runs through the middle, not going to get a first down, gets a gain of 2. So Dickinson will get the ball back unless Minot North tries just to go for it to close out this one. But it looks like Dickinson could get the ball with 30 seconds. Jacob Holman has one of the refs right by his pocket. So might just see this one wind all the way through and then take a timeout with 1 second, talk about what they want to do. They're going to punt it away or just go for it on 4th and 2. So they slow waiting. Wait 1 more second, and there's the word there. Again, taking the timeout. Timeout for Coach Holman. 4th down coming your way. Minot North leads 22-7.
Being in business for over 25 years, we've learned a lot about why local matters. Unlike those guys, we take pride in our work and back our tires with our Plus Plan guarantee to get the most out of your tire's lifespan.
Are the tires the same size on all the sides?
We strive to provide great value to our guests and lowest prices guaranteed.
That's not good.
Stop at a trusted tire and auto and get a set of tires from people you know and trust, and will even match those guys.
Minot North taking all the time and taking a timeout, as now they will bring up the punt team. Dickinson wanting it back with 31 seconds. Again, wanted to see this game all the way through. They took that timeout. Leeson catching it at the 9. So it looks like it will be the final couple plays of the season for Dickinson. And just the way they wanted it. Ball in the hands of Nate Stevenson. Ball in the hands of their offense. Got to tip the cap to that defense, though. 22 points on the board for Minot North. That's held 2 touchdowns below their season average of 36 points. And one of those touchdowns, it was kind of built off by that special teams that got the ball within like the 15-yard line. But a great bend but don't break effort for that defense. kept them in the game. Offense, seeing if they can try to end the season with a touchdown. Stevenson almost kind of into that safety territory again. He'll just throw that one away. Throwing it incomplete. Again, Nate Stevenson. Last year at about 1,500 passing yards. With the yards he gained today, we'll have around 1,500. So back-to-back years, around 1,500 passing yards. Back-to-back years, he's had 12 or more touchdowns. As he'll return for a senior season next year. Nice find to Leeson. Slices it through the defense with 16 seconds remaining. Making that one look easy, just rolling out, rolling out. No one near his favorite target, so hey, might as well continue on the Stevenson to Leeson mark. Those two players both will be returning, so keep an eye on them next year, Leeson and Stevenson. Two of those leaders on the offense, both back for senior year next year. Stevenson faces pressure. Trying to evade it, will be brought down by Will Bentley. 8 seconds left, and I think that will do it. As Will Bentley will help call game. Minot North will win it 22-7, and Minot North will stay perfect in the regular season. The number one team in the West, the number one team in the state, 9-0, perfect season for the Sentinels, and only their second year as a football program. And now their quest for the playoffs kicks off next week. Charbonneau Car Center postgame show coming your way when we return on the PSP Network.
This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
Rooted in the heart of our vibrant communities stands Bravera Bank, offering complete financial services for banking, wealth management, and insurance. From home loans and checking accounts.
Let me tell you about the cashback rewards with this account.
To wealth management, we'll help you forge your path ahead.
Let's create a plan to reach your financial goals.
Sounds great.
With specialty insurance coverage, our advisors ensure your operation can carry on.
Looks like it's going to be a great harvest.
Planning for the future is difficult, but pre-planning your funeral is a thoughtful way to ease the burden on your loved ones. At Stevenson Funeral Home, our compassionate team will help you create a personalized plan that reflects your values. We'll make sure that your wishes are honored and that your family will have peace of mind in a challenging time. Call us today to start your pre-planning journey. You can count on us to be with you every step of the way. Stevenson Funeral Home.
Welcome back in to the Ryan Family Dealership the Ryan Family Dealership post-game show right here on the PSP Network. Well, we got a little bit of technical difficulty, so let's take a break, and when we come back, we will have the post-game show coming your way here on the Charbonneau Car Center.
Planning for the future is difficult, but pre-planning your funeral is a thoughtful way to ease the burden on your loved ones. At Stevenson Funeral Home, our compassionate team will help you create a personalized plan that reflects your values. We'll make sure that your wishes are honored and that your family will have peace of mind in a challenging time. Call us today to start your pre-planning journey. You can count on us to be with you every step of the way. Stevenson Funeral Home.
At Ryan Buick GMC, we treat every day like game day.
1.2-liter turbo engine, ultra-wide screen.
1.2-liter turbo engine, ultra-wide screen, on 2. Ready?
We know how to get you in the right vehicle.
Buchanans, and hut, hut.
From the test drive to the handoff, we make every step easy. This season, start your drive at Ryan Buick GMC.
Okay, welcome back in. Again, some technical difficulties on our side, so it looks like we're not going to have any rolling video here on the post-game show, just a steal shot. But let's talk about how this one got to this point. And here on the Charbonneau Car Center post-game show, and it all started off with the kind of that big mishap with the low punt and set up really good field position for Minot North inside the 20-yard line, and that is where it would go up for Tyler Kippen on the throw from Braden Blickery. It was an 8-yard touchdown run, or a touchdown catch, and a 2-point try was good. In the second quarter, though, Christian Dedman, 8-yard touchdown run, ended up working out to there in the second quarter. They go to Christian Dedman, 15-0, and that would be the score at the end of the first half. Second half, it was a scoreless third quarter, and we ended up going into the fourth quarter. Evan Berg pounds in a touchdown. He had a 2-point try earlier. He gets the touchdown this time. It was 22-0, but Dickinson just would not give up. They had an opportunity earlier in the fourth quarter. They were stopped at the 1-yard line. They get a defensive stop. They get another chance, and this time they would find their way in. Nate Stevenson with a 2-yard run, and it worked out 22-7. So that is where that one would close out, 22-7 in favor of Dickinson, and that is the win there to or 22-7 in favor of Minot North. But again, Dickinson really liked what you saw from the defense there, just not quitting, not giving up. It was a nice fight there. And again, this Dickinson team fought well against everyone in the region. It was a 3-point loss against Watford City, a 9-point win against Jamestown, a 3-point loss against St. Mary's, a 4-point loss against Devils Lake, and kept it within 2 possessions of Minot North. Just a couple of those fourth quarters that kind of got away from them earlier on in the season. That keeps them away from the playoffs, but a lot to like. They're going ahead for Dawson McLaughlin and the Mavericks. Again, for Minot North, a perfect 9-0 as they head on over to be the 1 seed in the West region. So a lot to like there for Minot North, as we'll take a look at who they will be up against here as we've taken a look on the WDA standings. And as the beginning of the night, they would have took on Red River. Now, Red River was one of those weird teams. They could have been a 2 seed. They could have been a 5 seed. But based off of how tonight's game's gone, they are trailing right now, but Fargo South lost, which means Red River will make it in. So we might not know taking on Red River. Red River was last year's 2A runner-ups, and now Minot North will see if they can try to take down the Rough Riders in the opening round next week. Well, now we're going to go into talking about some key players tonight. It's fun watching, again, a nice performance there for Nate Stevenson and Paxton Leeson. They connected on quite a few nice plays. Devin Height, the senior, played in his last game, and had a lot of great tackling attempts. So Jackson Braun ends it with a PAT make for his career there as the kicker here at DHS. And just shout out to all the seniors that put in their work into this Dickinson Maverick program. Then for Minot North, Braden Blickery made some nice throws. Harrison Schaefer was key there as the kicker. Cameron Jez made some nice, him and Gavin Toby were fun to watch on defense. Cooper Chick had some nice runs. Evan Berg as that fullback. Braxton Thompson did a little bit on both sides of the ball. Christian Dedman picks up his 7th touchdown on the season. Kean Hannon, I had a lot of fun watching him as getting those reverses and those sweeps. And overall, just a lot of great efforts here on both sides of the ball. But tonight's Sports Clips MVP. It's time to announce it now. Sports Clips brings you the MVP of the matchup. Sports Clips, home of the MVP haircut experience. Nothing comes close to making you feel like an MVP, quite like the MVP experience at Sports Clips. Tonight's Sports Clips game MVP goes to Tyler Kippen, as Kippen, the senior linebacker, picks up his first touchdown on the season. He also made a lot of big plays, especially in that first quarter and in that first half, that got the boat going in the right direction for Minot North. And now it's kind of photo time there as they're celebrating that perfect season and their back-to-back region titles for Minot North. But again, big congratulations out to them. And again, tonight's Sports Clips MVP is Tyler Kippen. Now we'll take a quick little check-in at the final results tonight in AA. Wapaton over Fargo South 30-19. Bismarck St. Mary's over Jamestown 33-19. Devils Lake defeated Watford City 43-36. Kindred over Central Cass 41-26, and Central over Red River there in the battle for Grand Forks. AAA, Century defeated Bismarck 14-13. Minot picked up their first win of the season over Wilson 35-0. West Fargo Horace and Shanley in a shootout right now, 47-45. 1 minute remaining in the fourth quarter. West Fargo won over West Fargo Cheyenne 28-7. So that might actually have helped West Fargo into the playoffs when things are done and said. Fargo Davies defeated Fargo North 34-21, and Legacy over Mandan 34-12. Before we sign off for tonight, let's take a look at what's going on tomorrow. The 9-man and 11A playoffs. There's your matchups for 9-man. New Rockford, Cheyenne, Maddock. They're the number 1 seed. They're going to try to go back-to-back, so keep an eye on them. Maybe keep an eye on some of those Region 4 teams. Grant County Flasher taking on kind of an injured, battered, and bruised Divide County Maroons team in the first round. Napoleon Gackle Streeter against Alexander. Then you got Kidder County as the 7 seed versus Mulhall Lansford Sherwood, and Linton HMB the 3 seed there in Region number 4 against Lewis and Clark. In 11A, Langton area Munich is that number 1 team. They're taking on Northern Cass tomorrow. The defending champs of Alva-Drake, Anamoose Garrison. I think they might have been surprised to be the 4 seed, but that's where they will start their path to back-to-back crowns. Taking on Southern McLean tomorrow. Killdeer versus Ray Powers Lake. Trinity taking on Delac Burlington. Botno versus Central McLean. Just a couple of those intriguing matchups. Again, PSP Plus. You can subscribe to watch Valva-Drake, Anamoose, Garrison, and Southern McLean, as well as Killdeer versus Ray Powers Lake tomorrow. So, hey, if you're looking in for those 2 games or know people that might want to watch them but can't make the trip out to either Killdeer or Velva, again, you can subscribe there to PSP Plus for the day and catch a couple of great football games. Well, that's going to do it for us tonight on the PSP Network. Big thanks out to our sponsors that make this possible. Big thanks out to Guy Fridley as well as Jason Watson for all their work but helping behind the scenes here, getting us always set up well here at the Bijou Activity Center. Big thanks out to Cade Sadowski as well as Zach Sprague for a great job, as well as the producer and the camera operators tonight. And that's going to do it for myself, Brock Widener. We'll see you again. Maybe we'll see you tomorrow for some more football. I'll be over there in Killdeer for Killdeer Powers Lake, start of the 11A playoffs. But next week, Minot North will be going on again. They'll be continuing on their quest for their first state title. Their playoffs begin next week. Again, to take a check-in on our social media pages to find out what games we will be covering next week there for the 2A and 3A playoffs. But have a great rest of your night and have a great weekend.
This presentation This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by Make sure to like and follow PSP Network on all social media platforms.